is it? History. Didn't I click on it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Beautiful. Perfect. Is it PC? Okay, it is PC. Perfect.
My fellows.
What's up with the captions? Yeah, what? I know. Unannounced Lord of the Mystery stream. I got 2 hours of free time left. But before that, I'm going to quickly just watch one trailer. Bruh, I know, bruh. I know. I was going to schedule my stream for later in the day. But I could just fucking go live like for 2 hours right now. But before that, you streaming at a time I'm awake, I'm surprised. Yo, what's up, Push? I don't see you that often. I've seen some of your comments before. Oh shit, dude. What's up, dude? Hey, I'm pretty sure I've seen your comments. What's up, dude? All right, here we go. I'm gonna just watch one trailer react before our normal daily read-through stream. But if you guys don't know, I used to play Battlefield like a lot back in the day, bro. On the Xbox 360 era, I played Battlefield 3 every day, and I played Battlefield 4 every day. I didn't play 5 and 1 that much. I wasn't that into it at the time, but now let's see what they have in store for Battlefield 6. you thought the stream was a notification?
We will prevail.
Is that Josh Brolin's voice?
We're ready, Mr. President.
Oh, I thought that was Josh Brolin, bro. Okay,
My
that's
fellow citizens.
that sounded like Josh Brolin for a sec.
Today represents a dark day in our history.
Oh
With
shit.
this monstrous, unprovoked
Let's
attack,
go,
no
dude.
country
Battlefield
is safe from
6.
their reach.
Okay. Oh man, this already looks like
For all
OG.
those
Oh
serving
man.
on our behalf.
This already looks like Bad Company 2. Oh man, I also played a little bit of Bad Company 2 back in the day. I was a little too young for that.
For the Pax Armada mercenaries who are watching now.
Oh,
I
this
have a
looks
message.
good. The music gave me
It's
Tenet
over.
vibes for a sec.
Let's get to work.
Oh my. They fight. Whoa, that is straight up copyrighted stuff. Yo, what's up, dude? This has to be copyrighted. That music, right? He sounds like Thanos. It does sound like Josh Brolin, right? I'm sorry, I gotta mute it. Unless we unmute it for like 5 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay. Oh, this looks so good. Wait a sec. This does look good.
Move decisive. Dagger on my.
Oh, man.
Send it.
Oh, man. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Definitely not safe to play. Definitely not safe to play. Damn, dude. Oh, hear the music, dude. Oh, my. The music's so loud. I already know it. I apologize. Brian, why are you jump scaring us? I know. Sorry. I had 2 hours of free time. I just want to check this out first. Oh, I think I'm buying this day one, dude. I think I'm buying this day one. New York? Oh, shit. What? Did they just destroy Manhattan Bridge? Oh, that looked good. Oh, man. It's still like 8, 9 in the morning for me right now, dude. Oh, man. That looks good. Oh, there's going to be multiple. When is that? Is that next week? Oh, that is next week. Gaming stuff? Oh, definitely. We're gaming, man. July. Oh, yeah. They already have the stream set up? They already have this set up? All right, we'll be watching this in 7 days. All right, bet. Yeah, I wanted to quickly watch that, dude. Yeah, if you guys don't know, man, I used to play Battlefield 3. I literally have Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 for the Xbox 360 up here. And then I used to play a lot of Bad Company 2 back then. Okay, no, never mind. I never played that much. I played when I could, and it looked really cool. I was too young, and I didn't have internet back then when Bad Company 2 came out. But man, that looks good. I'm excited to play that. All right, definitely gonna be checking that out when it drops. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to watch. And now we'll get a reading. Are you guys ready? Unannounced stream. I know this was an unannounced stream. Now, if you guys give me 1 sec, let me see how fast I can upload that react. Because I just saw this fucking trailer came out like a minute ago. Oh, he's using it? Sorry. see. Just put music here. Oh, wait, I'm reading the Battlefield stream thing. Let me just hit notifications on so I don't forget. All right, let me close this. I was studying 12 hours a day in the PS4 days. Ooh, really? Damn, that's a lot. Our morning stream's gonna be usual now? No, no, definitely not. It's just right now. I have like this week and next week, I have a lot more free time than I normally do. It just doesn't cut my hours. So I was like, oh, okay, let me go live. But let me, dude, man, as I'm uploading this video, I beat Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty last night. I did not like my ending. That shit was a straight up fucking nothing burger. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's a nothing burger ending because even Johnny Silverhand says it like, you and me, we were just, you and me are just a nothing burger. A nothing burger. And I'm like, that's what this ending feels like. Battlefield 6. Okay. You just give me a sec. Let me just upload this react as quickly as I can, then we'll read. Down that flashbang. Disappointed? Yeah, I did not like the ending I got. I thought it was straight up doo-doo. But my bro was so mad at me when he saw me playing it. He was so pissed off at me. Like, how do you not like it? He likes it. He loves it. It just, for me, Cyberpunk is my second love-hate relationship, and my first love-hate relationship I've had in gaming was Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like, I love it and I hate that game at the same time. It's just like that game was way too ambitious. It had like fucking 5 endings on a fucking Fire Emblem game. It should have just been 2, man. Oh my god, with the Black Eagles or like the main route with like, I don't know, man. It's like they could have fine-tuned it so much. All right, why am I putting this on my freaking LOTM playlist? All right, I'm already uploading the video. It's up in 30 seconds. Finally, a stream on normal hours, 7 p.m. Yeah, no, so we got like 2 hours to read. Edge Runners Season 2 is announced. You see, I'm excited for that. I got to see that announcement at Anime Expo Sunny. It was so badass, dude. And also Edge Runners. Edge Runners was such a love-hate thing when I was watching it. Because I'm like, why are you guys trying to make me sad? And it's not working, dude. But I was still sad watching it. And I still really liked it. But I don't know, man. Cyberpunk, it just, for me, when I played that game, I had so many buggy experiences. And like, yeah, it took away from my enjoyment of the game just because of how buggy it was. Oh man, it was just, it was stressing me out so much, dude. All right, let me upload this video as quickly as I can. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna do this as quickly as I can, okay? Just give me 2 seconds. I need to do a YouTube thumbnail downloader. Hold up. Give me a sec. I'm doing this as quickly as I can. I just want to make it public since I guess the thing just came out. Oh, wait. Hold up. Then we paste the stream link. Download. Okay. Hold up. Let me just put this super quick. I need like 1 more minute. Okay. Then I open up my second. I have all my thumbnails on one video thing. The director said he was born in Poland, so he wanted to make people sad. I know. I saw it live. Yeah, I was watching this shit live. He was so funny. And then when he was talking to the director, I was laughing because everybody in the audience was like, "Wait, do they actually hate each other, or is this just for the panel?" And then he started asking them questions like, "Do you guys actually hate each other, or is this just like a bit?" And he's like, No, we like each other. It's just there's a lot of back and forth with them, like on things they wanted to include and then things they didn't want to include. Here, hold up. I'm just getting my thumbnail. Beautiful. Wait, I fucked up. Okay, look how quick I am. And then tax is literally just straight up easy, geeky, reacts. Oh, wait. We What happened with that? What the fuck? We are so back. What happened with my font? Alright. Thumbnail is basically done. Okay. Wow, I feel bad covering out the main character in the thumbnail. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. Hopefully, I'm sorry if this is not entertaining. I'm just trying to do this super quickly. I apologize. All right, now the last, no amount of reasonable developments can make that happen. Bet. Let's see. Lord of the Mysteries. Wait, why am I typing Lord of the Mysteries? What the fuck, dude? Review trailer reaction. And then title. We're so back. Alright, I'm done. His username? Wait, what? No amount of reasonable. Adam? No amount of reasonable? I'm sorry if this is not entertaining. I already feel like this is really boring for you guys. Me just trying to make a video public just because the trailer just came out. What's up, guys? Well, you know what? This was good. A 12-minute waiting for an unannounced stream. I think that's good. Like a 12-minute waiting lobby. Hello, fellow diosts. All right. Video is public. All right, awesome. Cool. Look at that. That was super quick. Now let me just mute my phone. All right. All right, now we get a read for 2 gorgeous, beautiful hours. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, this is my pajamas. When I'm wearing this shit, I'm in my PJs. My Naruto shirt is literally my PJs. Let me get the chapter ready. Easy, how excited are you for episode 6? I'm fucking pumped, dude. It's not today, right? No. Okay. Whoo. Okay, we still got one more day. I was like, wait, is today fucking Friday or Thursday? I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's basically the halfway point, correct? We will get Mr. Zik and his son. Oh, no shot. Is it really that episode? I guess that would make sense. Right after that. That's just so fast, though. I guess that's my only, you can say, critique about the Dunghua. It's like, we're already getting that, but it's like, we've only had one single encounter with a Zik. And I'm like, it's like, does that, like, really feel warranted? That's, like, my only critique. Like, we've only spent, like, one episode with him, and then, like, now we're going there, you know? But I'm still pumped to watch it, nonetheless. Did you read my Dream Divination Rage Bait? I did not read that. You want to break it down before we start reading? All right, I'm just setting up stream. I have everything set up. We'll also see the Madame Magoose. No, that will be so fucking pumped if we see her in the background. Oh, it's going to be so good. And the sun. Oh, I know that. That's probably first, right? When we look at the Eternal Blazing Sun. Sip my coffee, and we shall get to reading. I cannot function without my coffee. I gotta be more careful now not to spill anything on my new fucking mouse pad. I do not want to get I was about to say Lord of the Mysteries. You caught up to Wiz in it. We're gonna catch up. Your dream divination said we caught up. We're gonna catch up. He's at what, 1010? So he's about he's 150 chapters ahead. A week or two ago, you guys said he was 190. Look at that. We are gaining the lead slowly and quickly. We're gonna catch up and pass him before he even knows it, dude. All right. You know what, man? I feel like I genuinely need to have a sit down with the missus and be like, I need a 24-hour stream day. Don't forget your honorific name. I was about to forget, dude. Holy fucking shit. What'd I do about you guys? I was about to forget. Imagine all the character interactions we will be in season 2 as flashbacks. It's gonna be wild. What do you mean? What do you mean slowly and quickly? You know what? He's 300 chapters before the end. Fuck. As long as I beat it before Wiz, that's all that matters. Because if I started reading this shit live before him, ain't no way he gonna come in and finish it before me. Nah. It don't work that way, dude. Slowly and steadily, but also quickly. All right, this is ready. I'm not gonna stall. I don't want to catch myself stalling, so we're gonna get to reading. Damn, imagine painful flashbacks. After this stream, I am going to go back. Dr. Z being freaky. After this, I'm going to go back and start deleting a lot of my old videos so I have enough space on my PC. So when we do a really long stream, we'll be able to read through it all. You know what, man? No promises. But I'm going to talk to the missus today. I'm going to be like, yo, honey, I need to stream all day tomorrow. I'm like, I hope you understand. I love you, but I need to beat our opponent. And she's like, you know, you want me to beat my opponent. Just like, you know, like you want me to beat him just as badly as you want the Patriots to win. Like, you got to root for me. Like, she's a Patriots fan. Like, if you want the Patriots win, you got to root for me. Okay. Like, you want me to beat Wiz. Who you calling freaky? I'm completely normal. All right, let's get to reading. All right. Speaking of the freaky scenes, Charizard, we're going to continue with chapter 847, Return. Last stream was probably the best arc, and all the music is way too loud. Last stream was probably the best arc and all of Lord of Mysteries to this date. Like, I don't think if I've read anything that's crazy. And you know what I find? Wait. Yeah, you're right. Wait. Yeah, you're right. 846. What I find crazy, I'll update it right now. What I find crazy is we've been literally. So first, I thought Sequence 0 was gonna be Lord of the Mysteries. Update counter? I know, we're going to update it. I thought Sequence 0 was going to be Lord of the Mysteries, but it's the Fool. We've been literally praying to the Fool since chapter 1. Oh my God. He is going to instantly digest his potion. There is no shot he does not instantly digest Sequence 0. Like, there's going to be some crazy high qualitative change because he has been acting as the Fool his entire time in the world of Lord of the Mysteries. Like, there's no shot he doesn't, dude. Like, there is no shot he doesn't. He bet on Jester. Oh, Wiz thought it was gonna be Jester. I just thought it was going to be the title drop, like Lord of the Mysteries, because we have Attendant of the Mysteries. I figured might as well go Lord of the Mysteries. But in retrospect, it was obvious. In retrospect, I guess you can say it was coincidental that he was given the Fool tarot card from the very beginning. Fool was too on the nose. I felt like, yeah, but like Fool was just way too obvious to figure it out. I genuinely thought it was going to be the title drop, Lord of the Mysteries. But today, wait, hold up, before we read. How was the mushroom the strongest and most scariest opponent we've faced off this entire volume? Like the mushroom was stronger than Magoose, the Mother Tree of Desires, like mutations, and it's like what? Like even the volume 3, like demigod, like battle royale, like what? How was the mushroom? Well, I mean, I guess you can't. What was it? You can't look. What was we saying yesterday? We can't look down on a Rose Bishop. But for now, let's read chapter 846. I don't know what it's called. Let me scroll down. 846 is called Find the Target. Yeah. Speaking of mushrooms, we got our own little mushroom right here now. How's the audio? Did we get a qualitative stream check? Stream update. But let's keep reading. Let's keep reading before I go all over the place. 846. Speaking of mushrooms, easy and the reason he got the full card in that episode one was that the one responding for killing the real clan was the owner of the Fool blasphemy card. Hold up, let me reread that again. Let me turn off my air. The reason he got the full card, I don't know if I should read that. Okay, I don't think I was supposed to read that, D. No, I already forgot what I read. There was a reason he got the full card. I don't know, man. What is Dr. Z on about? Let me read that again. Delete it. Nope. Let me read that again. Nope. All right. It's okay. Just 1% of Frank's power, by the way. Dude, by the way, we're 60% done with this fucking series. Holy shit. Let me get this timestamp ready. And let's fucking read. 2 minutes, 41 seconds. 846. No need to reread. All right. It's okay. It's okay. All right. If you guys can, though, by the way, if you guys want to watch my Battlefield 6 trailer, just make sure you guys give it a like and a comment. I guess it will help the video. Kind of hopefully get a little bit more views. Because I remember the first video that blew up for me was my Batman reaction. I was like, oh shit, over 1,000 views? Hell yeah. But chapter 846 is called Find the Target. St. Samuel Cathedral behind Channa's Gate, Backlund Archbishop St. Anthony stood at the staircase connecting two different stories and watched as the Nighthawk decons rushed about. Many of them wore red gloves. As a spokesperson for the Church of the Evernight in the kingdom's capital, St. Anthony had a clean-shaven face. His face didn't betray his mood, and his deep black eyes similarly hid any upheavals he had. But everyone who had passed by him felt like their souls tremble as an indescribable sense of horror arose in their hearts. Your Grace, an inventory count has been made. None of the mysticism ingredients are missing, including the potion main ingredients and beyond characteristics. Your Grace, all the potion formulas are in the original locations. It can be preliminarily determined that no one had gone through them in the last 8 hours. Your Grace, all of the prisoners imprisoned on the first level are accounted for. None of them escaped, nor did anyone pass away. Your Grace, none of the information or books suffered any damage or were removed. Your Grace, the Grade 2 and Grade 3 sealed artifacts are all present. None of them had been taken away. Your Grace, the 3 Grade 1 sealed artifacts remained in their sealed state. None of them show any signs of having left the confines. Your Grace, the core seal remains intact. And who is Your Grace in this whole situation again? Saint Anthony had clearly shaven his face. Wait, Your Grace, the core seal remains intact and didn't suffer any damage. Your Grace, it has been confirmed that there are no new items in here. There are no remnant setups that bring about danger. Your Grace, we didn't find the enemy who disguised himself as a keeper. He seems to have evaporated into thin air. One decon after another came over to make a report as the matter gradually turned somewhat odd. Everybody, what the hell, Easy? Good morning to you too, Bullseye. One decon after another came over to make a report as the matter gradually turned somewhat odd. They found it unimaginable that a scheming and powerful beyonder would take such an immense risk and set up such a tight plan and use all kinds of means to pass through Channa's Gate, yet nothing was taken and the perpetrator had been left circling the area once. This made it seem like the person was only trying to prove themselves, or it was someone who had specifically come to find the flaws in the surveillance of the Channa's Gate of the church. The decon who led a Red Gloves team surveyed the area and deliberated as he came up with a theory. Your Grace, could it be the requirements of an advancement ritual of some sequence? Having been on a mission to capture devils, he had accustomed to making such guesses, and from the sequence, 5 different pathways and different sequences had different advancement rituals. The ones that the Church of the Evernight was aware of was in a large number. If that were the case, Soist could already see the infiltrator's mockery grin that said, I'm free to go anywhere, even if it's the Church of the Evernight Channa's Gate. It's no different from a department store. Those Nighthawks will only become raged after the matter, feeling useless. He has to be caught. Soist suddenly clenched his red glove's hands. St. Anthony was just about to say something when the Nighthawks deck on Dally Cement raised a second possibility. Perhaps the infiltrator had attempted to take some sealed artifact away and suffered the negative effects. He died on the spot and was cleanly devoured. St. Anthony nodded in thought and said, I'll head to the basement there to take a look. With that said, he steadily walked to the basement 2 and in a secret location activated the path to the basement 3. The other decons were lacking in rank or clearance, so all they could do was wait in their spots. St. Anthony quickly arrived at basement 3, which didn't span too big an area. I thought it was basement 2 where Klein had to go. He basically confirmed that sealed artifact 129 and 180 hadn't undergone any abnormal changes. Following the strict protocols, he observed 180, 120, and found 117 lying inside with half eyes open, just like always. Damn, look, they're just chilling there. During this process, St. Anthony approached thrice and opened distance from it thrice. Sometimes he had changed where he stood, and at other times he cloaked himself in the dark of the night. He didn't dare skip the necessary steps. Even as a saint, he didn't dare belittle any of the items in here, ignoring the powers that would break out of its vessels temporarily, causing the seal of 017 even 129. Oh, and 180. You need to use 129 and 180 together whenever you wanted to wipe 017, or whenever you wanted to wipe memories of people that came in contact with 017, right? Like that, those two were used concurrently when they came to sealing 017, which were rather dangerous items to become ineffective. St. Anthony didn't wish to degenerate it into an amnesiac who had to relearn how to eat and drink, much less become part of the dream that existed between reality and illusions. There's nothing wrong. Anthony heaved a silent sigh of relief. He began restoring the two sealed artifacts to their original states. A few minutes later, the Nighthawks Decon saw the Archbishop return. The infiltrator might have died from touching a sealed artifact, St. Anthony said, his pronunciation of died being somewhat muffled. He didn't give any additional explanations as he instructed. Regardless, this matter needs to be investigated. The infiltrator might have a partner. To be able to infiltrate St. Samuel Cathedral without causing a stir, it means that the target is very familiar with this place and is familiar with the recent duty shifts of the Keepers. He's very familiar with how Nighthawks handle and take over matters, and he has the ability or an item to change his appearance. In addition, damn, they're piecing everything together, dude. In addition, he had obtained the help from a Beyonder with his sacred Evernight pathway item, or has one himself. Putting all these conditions together, investigate the servants and priests to see if they have encountered any indistinct spirit channels or enticement. Check if the bishops have betrayed the goddess, as well as the believers who had recently come to the cathedral on a regular basis. I feel like we can think of one. At the same time, check all the other believers in the surroundings of the residence. Perhaps they have unexpectedly divulged something and had something stolen. I'll carry out the investigation pertaining to you. Also, find the missing servant and see if there are any clues. Yes, Your Grace. Soyce and the other Nighthawk Decons answered in unison. In the office, with a tense mood, Leonard Mitchell wasn't having his feet on the table like usual. He sat very proudly and wore a rather solemn expression. This was the second time he had encountered a matter that targeted the item behind Channis Gate. It invoked the memories that he buried deep inside his heart. And more importantly, he had encountered the fake keeper before without realizing the problem. If I were a little stronger, he had better observation skills. Perhaps it might not have Leonard Mitchell's lips pursed tightly as he looked at documents in front of him, but he wasn't reading a single word. This continued until the teammates entered. That keeper had awoken. He didn't see the infiltrator and only knew that he encountered the possession ability of a wraith. The red gloves that entered said to everyone in the room, how can a wraith move about inside the cathedral? Many red gloves raised a question, but no one had answered. Perhaps Wraith believes in the gods, Leonard mumbled inwardly, while no one was paying attention to him in the corner. For a main character, no one's paying attention to him. Yo, good morning, Along With. What's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. Sorry for the unannounced stream, by the way. Perhaps that Wraith believes in the goddess. Leonard mumbled inwardly while no one was paying attention to him in the corner. He suppressed his voice and seemed to mutter, old man, didn't you discover anything abnormal back then? The slightly aged voice sounded in his mind. It's not like I'll observe the outside world all the time, especially when I'm near Channis Gate. Well, Leonard didn't dare ask further as he joined in discussion with his teammates. Before long, the Red Gloves team captain Soyce entered the room and threw a stack of doisters on the desk. Oh, so he's not always observing. Oh, okay. These are the targets we need to investigate. The bishop, yes, he got the potion, Lone Wolf. It was such a good stream yesterday, dude. Holy shit. These are the targets we need to investigate. The bishops have provided the names of the believers who had frequently come to the cathedral recently. Leonard Mitchell glanced in and towards the back was a doister with a familiar name, Dwayne Dantas. Oh, he is going to join the Terror Club soon, huh? What? Is there, okay, it's not spoilers, but is there a tarot card that symbolizes the word red in any way? Like, is there like a red horse or something? Or like, is there like a red rose tarot card? Because whatever tarot card symbolizes red, that's going to be Leonard's. This old, it's not a spoiler, by the way. No? Okay. This old fellow, or anything that represents a bard or a poet. Well, look at the tarot cards right now. This old fellow that served from the 4th epoch came to a nearby street for less than 2 months, and Channis Gate was infiltrated. Isn't that too much of a coincidence? Besides, he has been frequently coming to St. Samuel Cathedral. He might be observing the situation and figuring out the patterns. Old man's excuse wasn't too convincing, but if the infiltrator was Dwayne Dantas, then everything makes sense. He's afraid that he would expose himself and pretend not to discover anything abnormal. Leonard's mind instantly filled with many ideas. He asked in deliberation, Captain Soyce, what did the infiltrator take? What clues did he leave behind? Soyce surveyed the room and said nothing was taken or left behind. It was like no one stepped inside. His Grace suspected that he died or was vaporized from contact with the sealed artifact. Our priority is to find his partner. No, Dwayne Dantas wouldn't die that easily. He's a monster who has lived since the 4th epoch. However, why did he carry on the infiltration? Leonard frowned silently as he hesitated for a moment. Then he proactively included Dwayne Dantas into the investigation targets for himself and 2 other teammates. After the red glove and local Nighthawks had been taken back, Leonard found an excuse to head to the washroom first. He suppressed his voice and asked, "What are your thoughts about Dwayne Tontis?" He didn't expose his parasite's lie. The elderly voice chuckled and said, "Didn't I tell you? I don't know much about him. I only know that there's something special about him. His aura has something ancient about it." Oh, shit, dude. How, when he's saying ancient, I'm interpreting that as, like, the cataclysm, like, ancient, as in like everything came from his aura, the ancient aura, like the mythos, creation of myth. That's what I'm thinking of when he says ancient aura. However, the case you previously investigated gave me some inspiration. I suspect that Dwayne Dantes might be related to the matter. He might be a proxy of some existence. What matter? Which existence? Leonardo muttered softly in surprise. In his mind, the ancient voice replied with an odd tone, "The fool that doesn't belong to this era?" How the fuck would he even know that? Wait. How will the parasite even know that? In his mind, the ancient voice replied with an odd tone, "The fool that doesn't belong to this era." I'm sorry, am I forgetting something or is this new lore? How the hell does how does the parasite know that? What? Who is calling me? What? I'll be right back. One second. Oh. Leave him in the shadow realm so he can truly be a shadow slave. What the heck, dude? I understood that reference. All right, sorry. I just had to go get something for Ellie, but we're back now. All right, we're good. Aura? Lag? I apologize if there's lag. We're good. We're back. Very mysterious river. We're back. We're back. Why can't I drag this? What? Give me a sec. There you go. All right, now we can keep reading. 160 Boakland Street. Klein had his breakfast and returned to the balcony, half-open room. He sat in a reclining chair and raised his hand to rub his temples. After his tense mood subsided, Klein discovered that his mind had turned somewhat adrift. He would often see his hanging corpses in the ancient cathedral, as well as a cluster of translucent maggots that remained unclear in his deepest memories. Illusory voices would seem to constantly echo in his ear. He's still hearing Hornicus Flagera? Illusory voices would seem to constantly echo in his ear, Hornicus Flagera. Although I had quickly cut the connection with the marionette, I had suffered some of the effects. My soul has been slightly corrupted. Oh, he's going to go ask Audrey for help. As expected of a real mythical creature, after the preliminary investigations are done, all have to find a way to resolve the remnant problems. Klein slowly heaved a sigh of relief and used cognition to calm himself down. Wow, dude, it's crazy. Damn. Wait, so they show this in the season 1 trailer for Lord of Mysteries. Like, they literally show the freaking maggot throne. That is so that was in Foggy Town. That was a cathedral that season 1 shot in the trailer that we saw for like 1 second was what we just read. That is so crazy, dude. It is crazy how Cuttlefish adds stuff from like volume 1 that happened in like 800 chapters. But let's read the next chapter. Chapter 847 is called The Name Hidden in the Doisers. Okay, timestamp. 14 minutes. 14 minutes? Why is that? Why did that take me so long to read, huh? What? Did I slow down? Cinema? Am I fucking slowing down? What's going on? Let's keep reading. Chapter 847 is called The Name Hidden in the Doisters. A carriage passed by Boakland Street and Leonardo Mitchell and the 2 red glove teammates discovered the target they were investigating this time, Dwayne Dantes. I still haven't had any direct contact with this gentleman. I've only investigated his servants and neighbors. Cindy, who had long wine red hair, introduced her findings. For now, it has been confirmed that Dwayne Dantes has acted the same since last night to this morning. He went to his bedroom to sleep at 11 and finished washing up 7:30 in the morning. At times, he would have some supper and end the day after midnight. At times, he would wake up before 7 and head out for a stroll, but that's not the norm. Another red glove Bob. Our red glove member's called a Bob. Sorry, I'm not dissing any Bobs in the chat, by the way. Another red glove Bob nodded and said, from his point of view, there's nothing wrong with Dwayne Dantes. Leonardo Mitchell, who sat in a seemingly casual manner, immediately said with a smile, but the reverse can also be true. Let me just click this. But the reverse can also be true. According to what we've currently gathered, the missing servant was likely replaced between 11:20 and 11:35 last night. The infiltrator entered China's Gate at 6 in the morning and was discovered, and we discovered the problem at 7:20 in the morning without finding the target. It can thus be said that during the infiltration, Dwayne Dantes was sleeping and lacked alibi. Good, that's a good alibi. What makes sense? Cindy glanced at Leonardo's surprise. Her impression of the teammate of hers was one who'd often had a judgment question that pointed at the core of the problem. However, he seldom described his logic in great details. He was more like a desultory poet who occasionally had epiphanies. Let me Google search this word. Epiphanies? No definition. Okay. Bob, who had a sharp chin, frowned as he shook his head. If that's the case, everyone on this name list cannot be cleared of suspicion. They were sleeping with no one watching them. Even if they had wives or husbands, they would similarly be sleeping at such times. So they wouldn't know. Tongue twisters? Definitely a tongue twister. Also, I don't believe an infiltrator would be so bold. He had already entered China's Gate and managed to successfully escape, completing an unimaginable feat. Yet he stays nearly and hasn't abandoned his identity or gone far away. How is this possible? The risk involved cannot be predicted unless he's also planning something else, or he can't bear to part with certain things. But what can compare with infiltrating China's Gate? What can compare with those sealed artifacts, ingredients, and formulas? If I didn't know that Dwayne Dantes was problematic in the first place, I would have come to the same conclusion. Leonard had already thought of an explanation as he crossed his right leg. I'm just saying that we can't so easily strike off Dwayne Dantes from the suspects. Yeah, Besides, Captain Soyce has said that the infiltrator might have already died behind China's Gate. Even if Dwayne Dantes is involved, he might very well be an accomplice. Don't you find it too much of a coincidence? No such thing as a coincidence. Means a sudden revelation. Thank you, D. So that meant... that's such a tongue twister word. Why didn't you just say a sudden revelation, man? If I didn't know that Dwayne Dantes was problematic in the first place, I wouldn't have come to the same conclusion. Leonard had already thought of an explanation as he crossed his right leg. I'm just saying that why we can so easily strike off Dwayne Dantes from the suspects. Besides, Captain Soyce has said the infiltrator might have already died behind China's Gate. Even if Dwayne Dantes isn't involved, he might very well be an accomplice. Don't you find it too much of a coincidence? He moved in for less than 2 months and the church encountered something that might never happen in centuries. Besides, he has been visiting St. Simon Cathedral too frequently. He had ample opportunities to find out the corresponding situation. Also, during this period of time, there was a strange sewer explosion along Boakland Street. Cindy bunched up her legs, wine red hair, and said, "You've convinced me. This should be the target we put our focus on." Bob pulled at the ends of his left palm and red gloves and said, "There are indeed many coincidences." I'm sorry, are we getting a red glove versus Dwayne Dantes fight? However, coincidences might not be equivalent to problems. Even if Dwayne Dantes goes to the cathedral daily and listens to the bishops' preachings, and all he could do is understand the layout and not obtain the deeper information, such as when the keepers will head to the Channels Gate and how the handover is done with Nighthawks. Therefore, he's more likely to be the one of the accomplices, Leonard said with a shrug. He similarly didn't understand how Dwayne Dantes would understand the internal protocols of the Nighthawks so well. If only he knew, dude. Villain Saga has now finished. Is it over? Wait. Huge tangent. No. It was today. Oh, I thought I had until tomorrow to read it. Let me pause this for a sec. Wait, hold up. Wait, no spoilers. Hold up. If I saw something died, I don't want to read that. Hold up. Sad? Wait. If somebody died, I don't want to read that part. That's the only thing I don't want to read. If you guys don't know, hold up. No, it's okay. No spoilers? No, it's okay. I didn't read anything. I said something died and I looked away. If you guys don't know, I am obsessed with Vinland Saga. It is one of my favorite mangas of all time. It's like a 9x9. Look. I have all the physical volumes from 1 through 12. I fucking love Vinland Saga, man. It is so crazy. Fuck, man. I only read the physical releases because I prefer reading it on paperback. Nah, I'm saying sad that Vinland Saga ended. It's sad, bro. It's passionate. Dude, wait, hold up. Sorry, dude. In another timeline, I would have been a Vinland Saga reactor. Look, hold up. I'm just one thing, and then I'm gonna read. No, don't worry. We're not stalling. It's okay, because this is an extra stream before the main occasional stream, so it's okay. Even if I am stalling a little bit. All I want to say is, when I was in Europe, like 2-3 years ago, I downloaded all of season 2 because I wanted to watch it in bulk in Europe, right? When we were going through the countryside. So it was crazy. I watched all of season 2 of the farm arc when we were going through the old countryside of Europe. I forgot what border. I think we were going to we were either going to Switzerland or Austria. It's like one of those green areas. When we were going through the countryside, all I was looking at was like cows and like sunflowers and like wheat fields. And then I'm like finishing the finale of season 2. Bro, I had like an existential crisis. I cried like a little bitch, man. And I've already read it, by the way. I read the farm arc like years ago, like maybe like 5-6 years ago. I read the farm arc. It's just so good, bro. I read this shit years ago, and then like being able to watch the anime. Austria, yes, dude. I think that was my favorite place in all of Europe. Austria. I have never seen so much green in my life. It was the air was everything about. I gotta show you guys pictures of Austria. I just gotta make sure I have pictures I can show. That way I don't like dox myself or show people I was with. You know, just for privacy reasons. But it was life changing, dude. I loved it. All right, now we'll get back to reading. I fucking love Vinland, man. Vinland's like one of my favorite series. I love Vinland Saga. The OG Spectre in chat, he hates Vinland. He's like, why would you like it? Thorfinn is such a bad character. Like, why would he spend 10 years trying to avenge his dad? And like, that's the point. He's the broken, flawed character, damn it. Say like, come on, man. I'm sorry if you're watching. I love you, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to call you a dumbass. So like, you know what? No, I didn't mean it like that. I live in European countryside. I loved it, man. It was so beautiful, man. I love the countryside. It was so different from like United States. I mean, yes, there's a lot of countrysides here in the United States, but like it was a different vibe. But let's keep reading. After that huge tangent, let me find my place. Bob pulled at the end of his left palm and right glove and said, there are indeed many coincidences. However, coincidences might not be equivalent to problems, even if Dwayne Dantes goes to the cathedral daily and listens to the bishop preachings. If you want to see me rambling, make sure you watch the live streams. All he could do is understand the layout and not obtain deeper information. I'm rereading this part, by the way. Such as when the keepers will head to Channels Gate and how the handover is done with the Nighthawks. Therefore, he's more likely to be one of the accomplices, Leonard said with a shrug. He similarly didn't understand how Dwayne Dantes would understand the internal protocols of the Nighthawks so well. Cindy echoed, regardless, we have to do a deeper investigation. Shall we wait till noon and directly enter Dwayne Dantes' dream to question him? Huh? He has the habit of taking afternoon naps. Leonard raised his right hand and waved it gently. There's no need to be in such a hurry. It's not like we've never done any routine inspections, passed or entered his dreams, but we didn't discover anything wrong. If there really is nothing wrong with him, we wouldn't gain anything from entering his dreams again. If there's a problem with him, the fact that he didn't expose himself back then means that he has a means to resist an inquiry during the dreams. We will still be fooled by him if we entered his dream again. Therefore, we should monitor him and see what kind of people he interacts with so as to prevent him from escaping while waiting for Desi's response at the tycoon's true identity. Once we discover any clues, we will request to use higher level investigation methods than questioning him in dreams. Sidney was once again surprised as he couldn't help but joke. It's rare to see you analyze the situation so seriously. Furthermore, his thought process was extremely clear. Leonard fell silent and gave a self-deprecating comment. Perhaps it's because I've encountered something similar. Instantly, Cindy felt that Leonard's green eyes had turned darker. She didn't speak further. Let's take turns to monitor Dwayne Ontis. I'll go first. It's way more developed because it's way smaller and it's inhabited by farmers for way longer. Oh, that makes sense. All right, Leonard nodded and turned to Bob. Get the case files of the sewers explosions. Let's see if we can discover any problems. I think that was my favorite spot, man. Just sightseeing there. Just like taking it in, man. It was beautiful, man. I'll head back to read through the corresponding doisters and see if there are any other abnormalities on the streets. After splitting the work, the three red gloves began their work. Leonard returned to St. Samuel Cathedral basement and obtained the information involving Buckland Street and the cases of the Aurora Order had actively or passively involved themselves in for the past 3 years. The latter was something that sparked off the clues provided by the parasite in him. It gave him an idea. Since the Fool's existence and the corresponding honorific name initially came from the Aurora Order, it means that the Aurora Order was involved in something or had suffered some setbacks. Oh, you're right. The Aurora Order was the one. Look into the Fool. Now, I'm like, how the hell did the parasite know that? Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. The Aurora Order was like, I need you guys to find who the Fool is. When they're trying to get information on him, it might be related to the organization that believes in the Fool. After returning to the office, Leonard held back his desultory attitude as he very seriously read through the thick doisters. In the doisters related to the Aurora Order, there was the Lenevus case he was most familiar with. This true traitor's descendant has failed terribly because of some baffling report. A mysterious person had appeared to kill the main criminal. He was suspected to be related to the hero bandit Black Emperor. As he targeted the evil criminals, he would scatter tarot cards over their target's corpse. The person wasn't able to do it for the Desire Apostle Jason Buria only because Leonard had rushed over too quickly. Similarly, Leonard once again saw the name Sherlock Moriarty appear in the periphery of the case. Aurora Order Mr. X was assassinated at the gathering he convened. There were traces of pirates at the demigod level left at the scene. At this point in time, Dwayne Thontis had already arrived in Backland. It matches perfectly. Aurora orders Mr. A and the demoness sect to cooperate to create the Great Smog of Backland. This person vanished as a result. Aurora ordered Mr. A has assassinated the Intis ambassador. Leonard read case after case, but he didn't find anything of use. Ooh, he can't piece it together yet. He rubbed his temples and decided to attack it from a different angle. He began from the cases related to the hero bandit Black Emperor, Lenevus case, first murderer scene with the tarot cards thrown as a ritual, and the Fool is the beginning of the tarot cards. Captain's case, from his strength and level showcased by hero bandit Black Emperor, he won't and wouldn't mimic others. He similarly scattered the tarot cards on the corpse. Desire Apostle Jason Buria, I saw hero bandit Black Emperor with my own eyes, preventing him from scattering the cards in time. Apart from the major events and evil criminals, what other connections do these three cases have? Leonard had previously considered the relevant questions and was certain that Detective Sherlock Moriarty had been partially involved in the Lenevus and Captain case. Then what about the Desire Apostle case? He has to be able to piece it together one day, right? Leonard found, there is no way to piece it together though. Like, there's no shot you'd be like, well, what if Klein lived and he became them? There's no way. But he's definitely being Sherlock Moriarty right now. He's definitely taking on the role of Sherlock Holmes. Leonard found the addendum and began, what does that even mean? Leonard found the addendum and began leafing through them. Finally, he spotted a line in an inconspicuous spot. People attacked involving Isengard Stannik, Sherlock Moriarty. Leonard's expression slowly turned excited as though he had discovered a breakthrough. He fled through the Aurora Order doisters and didn't miss out any of the names involved. He kept expanding his search and requested for all the doisters that involved every name. Aurora orders Mr. A assassinated the Intis ambassador. The Intis ambassador was in charge of the conflict over the Difference Engine manuscripts. The clues to the manuscripts came from a spy who usually acted as a private detective. It is reported that another private detective was embroiled in this matter and had nearly been killed by a gang member under the command of the Intis ambassador, Sherlock Moriarty, I apologize. Another private detective, Leonard, suddenly stood up and left St. Samuel Cathedral and headed for the police station that handled the case back then. Although most of the dossiers had been taken away by MI9, Leonard still followed the names of the person who had made the police report, Sherlock Moriarty. I now have a reason to believe that this great detective was also involved in the Great Smog of Backland. Among the various people who are involved, his name appears right at the periphery of the matter. He and Dwayne Dantes all belong to the secret organization that believes in the Fool. No, bro, he's so close. He literally is the Fool, dude. Leonard thought as the corners of his lips curled up, he decided to immediately search for more information to verify his conjecture. He is so close, man. It's at the tip of his tongue. 160 Buckland Street, inside the master bedroom, Klein didn't have any Nighthawks enter his dreams during his afternoon nap, but he once again returned to the foggy town. He saw Demoness of Despair, Panatia, with her smile showcasing blood-colored flesh in between the gaps of her teeth. He saw her slowly being hung up as her eyes rolled back in despair before her head dropped down. The hung corpses, the horrifying gigantic mushroom, the cluster of countless translucent maggots kept appearing one after another, waking Klein up from his dream. Ugh. He definitely needs Audrey to help him do like a mental corruption cleanse. As he rubbed his temples, Klein found that his mind was in a terrible condition. He's going to go seek out her help. And this was a problem that could be resolved by the Grey Fog. He fell into deep thought and entered his bathroom and arrived above the Grey Fog. He conjured German Spur and made pray. Please pass on my question to Miss Justice about when she will be free. I wish to receive some psychotherapy immediately. Next chapter. This is getting good. I don't know if... hold up. I'm gonna wait. Like, I'm gonna wait before I say that. I'm gonna wait a little bit more before I say what I'm thinking. Next chapter. 848. Chapter 848 is called Getting Caught in the Crossfire. Backland Empersboro, inside the Hall family luxurious mansion, Audrey had just tried on 3 selections of evening gowns today, and she was sitting on a cushioned chair wondering how they could be matched with her accessories and which one she was more inclined. Lag. Okay, stream is back. Okay, we're good, right? This is what I'm saying. There are starting to be like way too many one-on-one moments with the Fool, Klein, and Audrey. So I don't know if it's going down that route where Audrey catches feelings for him. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I feel like that might potentially happen because there are starting to be way too many one-on-one moments between Audrey and Klein, like from way back in the day. Like she was like, he saw her help for the card, he's seeing her help for her mental corruptions. He has had like one-on-one conversations with her, and I'm like, I don't know if we're going that romance route. Thought my internet went down. No, that was me. I don't know, dude. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Backland Empersboro, inside the Hall family luxurious mansion, Audrey had just tried on 3 selections of the evening gown today, and she was sitting on a cushioned chair, wondering how they could be matched with her accessories and which one she would be more inclined towards. She also pondered over her mother's opinion. At this moment, she suddenly saw an endless gray, white, and blurry figure watch down at everything from the high above appear before her eyes. Immediately after that, she saw another figure. It was a praying figure that had been shrouded by the gray fog. Her ears resounded with the corresponding words. Instead of being alarmed, Audrey was delighted. Her unease and worry that there wasn't a tarot gathering today was instantly quelled. As expected, it was nothing. Oh, Mr. World really has a psychological problem. He must have been under immense stress recently, and it's no wonder he booked an appointment in advance. Audrey decided she began to consider she was free. No, that's right. It was just my internet. As she pondered, she scanned the maids who were busy in her room with the golden retriever, Susie, who was sitting by the door. Audrey's lips curled up slightly in an irresistible manner as she bowed her head and secretly prayed in response. Please tell Mr. World that I'm currently free. He can determine the time and location. As long as it's not nighttime, it doesn't exchange to Boros West Backland. In regards to this, the golden retriever who was observing the maids' work seemed to sense something. Looking at her, she suspiciously turned her head and looked in Audrey's direction. However, it failed to discover any problems. Above the gray fog inside the palace, it looked like a giant's residence. She's free at any time. Periods when it's convenient to head out won't let this place she's familiar with. Klein rubbed his temples as he interpreted Miss Justice's reply. His first reaction was that it was best done today or tomorrow, and to have her determine the location, then he could use Creeping Hunger to teleport there. But he soon thought of a problem. Dwayne Tonsis was part of the Nighthawk's investigation. It was very possible that he was being monitored. Therefore, rashly traveling could easily expose him. With a few days or, Klein seriously thought about it as he conjured the word German Sparrow and prayed once again. Please inform Miss Justice that let's do it today. Above the gray fog, Audrey's eyes widened. She found the answers provided by Mr. World exceeded her expectations. How was she supposed to get Susie to be her stand-in? Besides, there are many details that, unable to see or clearly sense while inside of Mr. Fool's palace, it was seriously hamper and psychotherapy. Audrey calmed her senses of alarm as she posed her doubts for a position of viability and requested Mr. Fool to pass it on to Mr. World. Before long, she received the reply again. I'll request Mr. Fool to remove those restrictions. We'll use the other means to conceal our true appearances. That can be done. This is a special treatment. This is a special treatment one gets from being Mr. Fool's blessed, huh? Our continuous communication is almost like a conversation. I've really thought about Mr. Fool, and he seems to almost allow us to indulge it. Audrey's thoughts raced as she stopped finding excuses. All right, let's do it between 11:30 and 12:30 tonight. She didn't believe that she would have anywhere to be alone before the end of her birthday ball. At the same time, in the building at 39 Buckland Street, Hazel was looking at the selection evening gown in a boardroom as she listened to her mother's repeated exhortations. She was accompanied to her parents to attend Miss Audrey Hall's birthday ball. Just as Hazel thought, she's going to, Hazel? Just as Hazel's thoughts were wandering and her mind gradually turning blank, she saw a grayish-white rat appear by the door. It was frankly waving its paws. This, Hazel patiently listened to her mother repeat herself one more time before finding an excuse to return to her bedroom. After she closed and locked her door, the grayish-white rat appeared from somewhere and arrived by her feet. It sat there in a rather comical manner. I've discovered something wrong with the surroundings. The rat had sent vibrations in there to speak with human words. Hazel wasn't surprised at that as she asked in puzzlement, what's wrong? The grayish-white rat raised its right forepaw and pointed out the window. There are beyonders from the Church of the Evernight investigating this street. It's a rather large scale. What are they looking for? Hazel asked with a slight frown. The grayish-white rat slowly inhaled and said, how would I know? But it's definitely something very serious. This way they might very well discover something wrong with you. Hazel asked, feeling somewhat worried and confused. How did they make the discovery? Weren't there any clues in her sewers blasted away? Were the corresponding problems dealt with? The grayish-white was momentarily unsure about what to say. A few seconds later, vaguely replied, official beyonders have plenty of strange but effective investigation methods. In short, it's freaking, she's speaking a Ratatouille, dude. In short, I'll have to deal with your dream. This is where it's easiest to divulge things. Hazel looked down at the rat as her knitted brows relaxed. All right then, don't look so unwilling. It wasn't easy for me to accumulate this bit of strength, and now it's going to waste once again. Is this street cursed? First, it was the demoness with a strange condition. Following that, hero-banded Black Emperor appeared. Now there's some baffling and unknown situation that made Nighthawks pay serious attention to the street. The street is cursed. The grayish-white rat squeaked its frustration. Bro, his name is Remy. Well, from Ratatouille, yes, it's Remy. The grayish-white rat speaked in... Wait, no, is it? Ratatouille in the Beyond World? The grayish-white rat squeaked in frustration. Yeah, he's not pulling her hair to make her cook, right? She's just... Oh, okay. At the 7:30 in the evening, Hazel accompanied her parents, members of Parliament, Monch and Lady Rian, to the Emperor's Borough and entered the Hall family residence. As it was a birthday ball today, she didn't manage to directly meet Miss Audrey Hall. All she did was quietly stay by her parents' side as they exchanged pleasantries with Earl Hall, Lady Catelyn, and Lord Hybert Hall. To her, these respected aristocrats were in essence the same as commoners. Therefore, she didn't appear notably reserved. Her actions and tones were rather liberal. If it wasn't because of her mother's repeated exhortations, Hazel even believed that this beautiful dance floor, the murals with her high artistic value, and the elegant and outstanding statues were more worthy of respect. Damn. As she smiled at the people she knew and didn't know, Hazel finally waited until the ball began. She saw the Stars Tonight show. Miss Audrey Hall held the arms of the Earl and the Earl's wife as she walked out the room at the second floor before arriving at the railings that faced the dance floor. Hazel scanned her and habitually ignored her appearance as she observed the matching of her gown and accessories. However, her gaze wasn't able to move away. On the chandelier hanging high above, well-oiled candles produced the light that came with dreamy colors, with shining on the 18-year-old Audrey. It made her emerald-like eyes, pure and indescribable face, and lustrous gold hair seem to glow. It made her gown and accessories lose their luster. Hazel was momentarily caught in a daze. She failed to hear what Earl Hall had said until the melody filled the floor as she snapped out of her daze when Audrey Hall began the opening dance with the Earl. The always proud her had suddenly felt a little inferior. She felt that even if the striking lady didn't possess any beyond her powers, if only she knew. There was no way Audrey was inferior to her. Hazel pursed her lips and looked around. She realized that everyone's gaze had been grabbed. The only difference was that they all had different feelings about the situation. Hazel heaved a sigh of relief. That night, she didn't act that arrogantly again. However, she yearned to leave at every minute of the night. She wanted to head home to busy herself with her matters to obtain more magical and powerful abilities. Finally, the ball came to an end, and Hazel's family bade farewell to the family and walked to the door. On the way out, Hazel couldn't help but look back. She saw Miss Audrey standing alone to the sides of the dance floor with a faint and beautiful smile as she expressed her gratitude to each and every guest that was about to leave. She seemed to remain under the spotlight. After the end of the birthday ball, Audrey took off her accessories and changed into her sleeping gown before entering the bathroom. As she looked at the white steam emanate with her bathrobe beside her, Audrey wasn't in a rush to soak herself inside. She first sat in the corner and prayed to Mr. Fool to indicate that she was ready. In about 10 seconds, she saw the crimson light surge at her like a tidal wave drowning her. I wonder if Hazel's going to be jealous of Audrey when she finds out she's a Beyonder, and then Hazel might try and kill her. Maybe. I feel like that could be like a potential subplot this volume goes. Above the gray fog, Audrey... Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass and that doesn't happen. Above the gray fog, Audrey appeared by the side of the long bronze table. Just because we've been getting so much of Hazel this volume, this time she didn't. She just becomes jealous of her. Like, fuck this bitch. Why is she stronger than me? She tries to get at her. This time she didn't see Mr. Fool, who was enshrouded in gray fog. She discovered an ancient confessional. It was a brown crate that was only 1.5 times the height of a person. There were doors on both sides, and a wooden plank separated the area in between them. I thought Mr. World would request Mr. Fool to conjure the wall, which we will use to communicate across. Although it's essentially the same, but the confessional is cramped and dark. He really doesn't know how to consider a lady's feelings. Yes, I would find it odd if Mr. World did that. As Audrey suffused a smile, she walked to the jar door in the confessional. She bent her back and entered before sitting down with her legs bent sideways. After closing the wooden door, Audrey was treating a patient in the true sense of the word for the first time, suddenly feeling a little excited. Okay, she's been looking forward to this when she actually gets to treat patients. Immersed in darkness, the environment and her mood made her loosen up for the many rules she had to abide by. She curled her lips and reached out her fingers and gently tapped on the wooden door. Hello, Mr. World, are you there? Sitting cross-legged opposite her, Klein was infected by Miss Justice's cheerful tone. His emotions relaxed as he said, "You may begin." This time he didn't use the gray fog to enshroud himself, but he had turned himself into German Sparrow. Indeed, Mr. World's mental state isn't too good. He's too tense and worried. Audrey sensed him first and then used the psychiatrist's placate. A gentle invisible wave emanated over as Klein instantly felt a cold, refreshing morning breeze blow at him during a hot summer day. The frustrations and feverish feelings with him suddenly vanished. Seeing Mr. World having made an obvious recovery... That quick? He recovered that quickly? Seeing Mr. World having made an obvious recovery, she secretly heaved a sigh of relief and asked softly, "Have you had any nightmares lately?" That's it? Oh, wow, the chapter went so quick. All right, next chapter, 849. Let's just keep going. Wow, that went by so quickly. 37 minutes. By the way, what was the last chapter Wiz read yesterday? People said he was like in the thousands, or he was reaching the thousands. Did he reach 1,000? She. I'm gonna sip my coffee. 1,010? Oh, I said Palisade. 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 Palisade? Placide? Placide? Placite? Let me get it straight. You wholeheartedly trust Zarathustra. Wait, before I read this chapter, before I read 849, let me get this straight. You wholeheartedly trust Zarathustra, an ancient angel with unknown intentions, but immediately suspect a teenage girl of being a petty murderer? Yes. Exactly. And there's one thing I've known. I've seen way too many dumb horror movies when there is a petty teenager murderer, okay? I've seen way too many scream movies, okay? I know the game. Petty is the one thing that leads to murder. People just misunderstand and they're told exactly back. They just misunderstand him, dude. I wholeheartedly trust him. Actually, no, I lied. I thought he was gonna be the big bad guy, like towards the end, or I thought he was either gonna be the big bad guy or he'd be like the attendant of mysteries, waiting for a worthy fool to appear. I guess it kind of did happen that way, right? I guess it kind of was the latter. Chapter 849, it's called Consolation Fees. Nightmare climbed deliberated for 2 seconds and said, yes, I dream of a town that is shrouded in fog. The crimson moon in the sky would be clear and blurred at random. In the middle of the town is a black cathedral corpse and hung up inside. They wear clothes from different eras as they sway in the wind and produce strange sounds. Apart from that, there's a beautiful lady whose gap in her teeth were filled with blood-colored human flesh. A mushroom man formed of countless tiny mushrooms. To treat his psychological problems, Klein reconstructed his dream in a rather complete manner. However, he didn't say that he had encountered those things in reality, nor divulged that he knew the beautiful lady's identity and the strange mushroom's origins. At the same time, he hid the existence of the clusters of translucent... Oh, he's hiding that from her? Let me read this part again. To treat his psychological problems, Klein reconstructed his dream in a rather complete manner. However, he didn't say that he had encountered those things in reality, nor divulged that he knew the beautiful lady's identity and the strange mushroom's origins. At the same time, he hid the existence of clusters and translucent maggots and Zaratul. Audrey listened intensely and seriously. Based on her beyond her intuition and knowledge from mysticism, psychological, she said as she contemplated, Mr. World, I can imagine such a terrifying and sinister dream. I can also experience the immense horror that it brings you. Seeing that there wasn't any rebuttal from the other side of the wooden partition, Audrey grew in confidence. She slightly did another round of placete. Read aloud.
She silently did another round of placate and began.
Placate? Why is there a... How was the C pronounced as a K? Placate? Placate? What? English is such a weird language at times. Placate? She did another round of placate and began guiding. The horror that appears in dreams will often stem from feelings hidden deep in one's heart. And there are only two sources of horrors in one heart. One is the unknown, and the second is what cannot be resisted. The terrifying things you see in your dream are only superficial. What you are really afraid of is what they represent and symbolize, the true hidden behind them. As you spoke, Audrey suddenly asked, what is it? You are terrible with C's. I know. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I know. Sometimes the C is like a low C, high C. It's pronounced as a K, or it's silent. Klein was gradually relaxing, scrutinizing me, making fun of my main language, you know? Like, the one thing I can speak English, and I'm over here making fun of it. Klein was gradually relaxing, scrutinizing himself, as I'm over here complaining. Klein was gradually relaxing, scrutinizing himself as he took in Miss Jess's gentle and sweet voice. When he suddenly heard the question, he subconsciously answered, the existence that created all of that. He paused and hesitantly added, they are both an unknown and also cannot be resisted. At this point, Klein knew why he was having nightmares, as well as the true reason for his terrible mental state. He instinctively felt horrified over certain matters and instinctively had latent negative emotions. The former included the cluster of translucent maggots and Zaratul's terrifying performance. There was also the Eraser Angel's baffling actions and the fact that using the dark sacred emblem was the key to opening the door. They separately created a mood of despair that seemed to impose, to resist, as well as the feelings of not knowing who was friend or foe, and their ploys. Yes, I'm fearful that the clusters of translucent maggots that suspected to be sequence 1 attendant of mysteries of the seer pathway. I'm fearful of Zaratul, who has accomplished an unknown objective by opening the door. Yeah, what was he trying to accomplish, dude? I'm fearful of the goddess whose thoughts are unknown, as well as the Eraser Angel. Klein slowly exhaled as he admitted his fears. That's 4 things he's scared of. Audrey used placate once again and discovered that Mr. World's tense mind had essentially relaxed. She was delighted as she boldly said, one of the biggest sources of fear is a lack of confidence. Try recalling if you had any oversight or had committed any mistakes related to the matter. This results in your spirit repeatedly warning you and hinting to you. It eventually transformed into part of the nightmare. Oversight and mistakes, warning for my spirit, Klein pondered over Miss Justice's words and seriously began organizing the details of the matters that resulted in this horror. Chew's expression turned heavy bit by bit as he discovered a problem. I swore an oath with the goddess bearing witness via the holy sword. Although I had become a clown with the gray fox powers yet to discover to enter the real world, preventing me from being noticed by special deities, demigods, and spirits and world creatures. However, I couldn't fool fate, which would also be the beyonders of the monster pathway. And the goddess has another title. She is the Empress of Misfortune and Horror. She is so the bad guy, bro. She is so the bad guy. Like, no shot, her other title is Empress of Misfortune and Horror, you know? She wields control over misfortune and is one of the details in the domain of fate. And Klein is supposedly tied to fate. She's going to bring about misfortune. Now she's mommy? We'll see, man. Therefore, I know, you guys have been saying she was been mommy since, like, day one. But I don't know, man. She might be a scary mommy. So I don't know how I feel about that. Therefore, I was noticed from back then. Klein's heart sank bit by bit as the horror that stemmed from an unknown was greatly alleviated. He didn't reply, nor did he wait for the Miss Justice to speak again. He switched to asking, if you will face one or even many difficult to challenge enemies, what would you do? Actually, there has, apologies to my queen, I won't apologize. Because there has technically only been one Dommy. Not Dommy. There has, yes, two. There has technically only ever been one mommy-ass character when the series got really freaky in Volume 3. That has been the only one so far that I can think of. How can you blame our great mistress of misfortune and horror for doing anything bad? I don't know, man. I feel like the title gives it away. Audrey, Sugar Mommy level 999 against the level 30 Amalfa boss. What if the time won from avoiding and hiding isn't enough to make you grow to a level that's sufficient enough to face your enemies? Klein pressed, what if the gap between the two is difficult to bridge? Audrey answered him seriously while also consoling himself. Find enough helpers. Helpers. Names suddenly flashed across Klein's mind as his heart felt a lot more settled. He then continued asking, what if the enemies cannot be resisted even with helpers? What if there are helpers who are plotting something that might be beneficial to you, but they might also bring you harm? Audrey drew a blank, and after a few seconds of thought, she replied, you can pray to a deity. She nearly said to the world, you can seek Mr. Fool's help. And from the question and answer session, Audrey was able to confirm a matter. The mental problems that Mr. World was suffering stems from a powerful and terrifying enemies, but there was a worry that at a deeper level, the helpers had an unknown stance. Pray to a deity. Klein didn't dare to directly say it. What if deities could resolve it, because the thoughts of deities are even harder to fathom? After all that, this was the fool's kingdom and he was a blessed. He organized his words and said, deities can only provide help in certain areas, and what if that isn't enough? Audrey originally wanted to say that there was always a way and that the good was bound to defeat evil, but she couldn't convince herself of it. She couldn't provide any relevant case studies, so eventually she pursed her lips and said, I don't know. In the confessional, it was still darkness. The two temporarily stopped speaking as they fell into their respective inner struggles. Finally, Audrey broke the silence and looked at the wooden partial. Regardless, something needs to be done. Work hard at it. You can't just give up like that and not put up a fight. That's right. At the very least, I still have many secrets and things to rely on. Klein closed his eyes as he leaned on the wooden plank. He thought slowly re-wound from the most recent events that he was no longer constantly tense and often frustrated. Audrey sensed his change and immediately added, a placate? With that, Klein's mental condition was completely restored back to normal. I feel much better. Thank you for your treatment. What kind of consultation fee do you want? Klein offered. Actually, I should be the one thanking you for providing me an opportunity to handle the case. Audrey didn't really wish to collect any fees as she looked at the wooden partition in the darkness. She couldn't help but recall Mr. World's usual gloominess and coldness, as well as his experience and ruthless demeanor. His mental problems likely also has to do with his personality. Audrey suddenly had an idea as she smiled. The consultation fee that I charge isn't much at all. Yes, wish me happiness. Wish me happiness. What's going on? Klein was momentarily stunned. He nearly forgot he was wearing the facade of Germansboro. This was a request he had never heard of before. Klein hesitated for a moment. Finally, he pretended to coldly say, with the world's identity, since you requested it, I wish you happiness. Audrey smiled and turned into a beaming smile. I wish you happiness too. Mr. World, don't always keep everything inside. Smile more and be happier. It can eliminate most of the latent problems, alright? Your mental problems have been resolved, but you will need a follow-up appointment in a few days or by next week. Klein was at loss. What a good payment. Just have a good day. You too. I wish you happiness. You as well. Alright, look at that. If only all our doctor appointments were that easy. What about for payment? I wish you happiness. I wish you happiness too, Doctor. Mr. World, don't always keep everything inside. Smile more and be happy. It can eliminate most of the latent problems. All right, your mental problems have been resolved, but you will need a follow-up appointment in a few days or by next week. Klein was at a loss for an answer as he tearfully acknowledged information. Then he heard the door on the other side creak open. With the fool's angel, he saw Miss Justice retreat from the confessional and straighten her body. After sending her to the real world, Klein didn't dare to stay above the gray fog for too long. He quickly left and got into bed. At that moment, his mental condition had been restored. With his body and mind at ease, he realized something. He had digested quite a bit of his marionette's potion. The progress has surpassed his expectation. This is because I relied on my marionette to fool a demigod, Panatia, and I told you guys, I thought he was just going to fully digest it. This is because I relied on my marionette to fool a demigod, Panatia, and orchestrated her and Mr. A to complete my planned outperformance at the Foggy Town. Therefore, apart from me trying to hide behind the shadows and let every marionette have their own persona to make it more realistic, the marionette's principles included use one's marionette as a guide to control the enemy, play the role of a puppet. Let's go, progress has been made. We've been making a lot of progress. Klein thought, as he muttered inwardly in thought, he believed that he could digest a potion before the end of the year, and we're entering July. He exhaled with mixed feelings as he turned his head and looked at the crimson moonlight that penetrated the curtains as he silently said, that missing servant shouldn't be found. The clues I left behind should have been discovered as well. Wings instead of two bring on one hope. In the basement of St. Selma Cathedral, Leonard and Cindy, Bob and company looked at the Captain Soyce, who had returned from a meeting as they patiently waited for him to introduce new clues. Soyce drank a mouthful of rheumatic coffee and said, the missing servants have been found. And in this room he was left in, there were some clues left behind by the infiltrator. It has been confirmed that it belongs to the crazy adventurer German Sparrow, who had previously been active at sea. Why did it involve another crazy adventurer? Leonard was somewhat puzzled as he directly asked, when did he come to Backland? He's like, holy shit, now German is here? No one knows. The only thing that can be confirmed is that the crazy adventurer had appeared at the sea in the recent few weeks and had hunted a few pirates. So he said in an unhurried tone, the Church of the Storms knows more. MI9 also seems to know quite a bit. The higher ups will send people to Tilias with them. I take that as to cooperate with them. Just as Soyce finished his briefings, a telegram was sent over. It came from the Nighthawks and Desi, the content which was decoded read, Dwayne Dante's present identity is fake. In the past 10 years he spent in the southern continent, he had relied on adventuring to amass a significant amount of wealth. Further confirmation will require some time, as this place is very chaotic and there are often wars. The jurisdiction of zones are frequently changed. And did a few pirates. Yeah, he did make history, dude. Next chapter, brothers and sisters. Placate was OP. Placate. Audrey is so sweet. Yeah, look at her. She's like, just say have a good day, or I wish you happiness. Seriously, my psychiatrist talked like Audrey, I would have dropped the visits by now. She's hagmatzing since it's the first epoch. Audrey is so sweet. Yes, placate. Let's go, progress. I mean, the one power that makes it all make sense. All right, let me do my timestamp. 50, 51. I think we're still good on time. We got like another hour. Chapter 850 is called The Devil in Disguise. I thought I was going to say The Devil Wears Prada. The devil is in the details. I read it wrong both times. What the heck? Let me update this. The devil is in the details. Sounds like a contrived story. Ever since the new sea route was discovered, there have been no end to stories of people becoming rich from taking risks. Soyce casually commented on the content of the telegram. As he thought, he looked towards a particular red glove. I recall that we had investigated Dwayne Tontes before and had an exchange with him in his dream. Yes, the red glove, who was responsible for the task, nodded and replied, I didn't directly ask him about such matters, but I could tell that Dwayne Tontes was very familiar with the southern continent. He had plenty of experience there. That might be information that Dwayne Tontes deliberately revealed to you. Leonard had his doubts regardless of the contents of the telegram, believing that this was another layer of disguise from an undying monster who had lived since the fourth epoch. However, he didn't inform his teammates about his conjectures because he had no basis for them. Soyce didn't pay great attention to the matter as he said, do you have any problems with the clues related to German Sparrow? Since this crazy adventure was still at sea in recent weeks, when did he come to Backland? As a nightmare, Cindy repeated her doubts. What I'm concerned about isn't the exact time, but whether he has the time to travel to Backland. After all, we're rather far. I thought I said we're rather fat from sea. No, we're rather far from the sea. Soyce nodded gently and said, in the end of the meeting, a Dekon raised a question. According to the time and venue of Gurman Sparrow's last sighting, he normally has no way to arrive in Backland last night and complete an infiltration. Of course, I'm referring to normal circumstances. The missing servant told us that when he was sweeping the square, he suddenly lost control of his body. He froze on the spot and was unable to cry for help. Then he saw the bright colors light like an abstract oil painting, and he felt that his body was floating upwards. Later, he lost consciousness, and after waking he found himself in a room in Eastborough. The former matches with the keeper's description of being possessed by Rafe. The latter is suspected to be a traveler's teleport. Shit. Like, well, he has creeping hunger. Maybe that's how he did it. If it really is teleport, then Gurman Sparrow can appear in Backland at any moment. Okay. As elites of the Nighthawks, the Red Gloves knew about the various beyond pathways far better than their colleagues, which were at the same level. They were no stranger to wraiths and travelers. After listening to the captain's explanation, another Red Glove added and thought, it's rumored that Admiral Blood, who was hunted by Gurman Sparrow, is a wraith. The details match. And as for Gurman Sparrow being able to obtain the powers to become a wraith, it wasn't an unacceptable. The easiest method was to find an artisan to make one's prey into a mystical item. Cinder recalled even more information with this stimulus. It's said that Gurman Sparrow has the ability to change his appearance, and the infiltrator has disguised himself as the keeper. Another detailed match. They're like, wait, is Dwayne Dantes Gurman and is Gurman Sherlock Moriarty? I feel like that's going to be their next piece. Like, what if it was Gurman Sparrow all this time? Excellent thinking. Soyce raised his hand to rub his temples. According to the details, we can come to a preliminary consensus that the infiltrator is Gurman Sparrow, and they are so smart. And this way, the name list we came up with might be erroneous. Gurman Sparrow doesn't need a companion to frequently come to the cathedral to pay to gather information. He can change his appearance every day and enter to figure out the situation. This will be more in the strength than using a companion. As the largest and most holy church of the Evernight Cathedral in Backland, the number of believers that came from St. Samuel Cathedral on a daily basis was too numerous to count. No bishop could remember every unfamiliar face that they once met. That also means that the names we have here are meaningless. Leonard raised his hand to rub his brow. Sounded rather desultory. That's somewhat obvious. Of course, now should be on a Gurman. Now, I wonder if Leonard is one day going to find out that, oh, Faceless is part of the Seer pathway. And then he's like, oh, I miss Klein. Like, he could have been a Faceless. And then he's like, wait a minute. But he wouldn't be able to piece together that he came back from the dead. Like, he wouldn't be able to piece back together like, oh, he rose from the grave. Unless there's some crazy freaking clue that they left behind. But I don't think that's the case. I feel like Klein has to tell him. Like, it's me. Like, I feel like when Leonardo gets too close to the case, when I feel like when it's like them faced off and like Klein might lose or whatever, he's going to be like, it's me. Like, he's going to break the facade. He's going to stop acting and be like, oh, shit. He's going to stop acting like, bro, it's me. Chill. I'm doing this to avenge Dunn. I really feel like that's what's going to happen. Leonardo's going to fight too close to the sun. You'll join the intersect way before. And, like, once he finds out, that's when he reveals it. And there's a lot of eyeballs. I feel like the only way Leonard discovers and joins the Terror Club is if Klein just deliberately tells him, because he keeps stopping his progress. Potentially. I lost my place, but it's okay. That's somewhat obvious, of course. Now, our focus now should be on Gurman Sparrow. The other targets can be placed aside as we perform the most basic level of surveillance. By the way, dude, thank you guys for 35 of you guys here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this unannounced stream. I apologize that it's also unannounced. Having said that, Soyce clapped and said, all right, get busy. Leonard didn't have any objections. He happened to hope to find the Machinery Hive mandated Punishers and MI9 to gather some infiltration. Bro, just keep reading. I know. On Tuesday morning, Klein woke up naturally, feeling relaxed and calm. He has a feeling of joyful emotion slowly coming to life. A psychiatrist beyond her powers are quite useful after all. It really matches the extremely infectious optimism that Miss Justice brings with her. Klein got out of bed and drew the curtains. He leisurely took in the scenery outside in the scattered golden sunlight. He regained his drive and began formulating his plans for the next couple months and even the year. First, get a new marionette. Second, use the identity of Dwayne Dantes and the control over a marionette to orchestrate scripts to expedite the digestion of the potion. Third, during this process, slowly gathering the ingredients needed for the Bizarre Sorcerer Potion. In that regard, I can ask a little son about the Bizarre Bane to see if he has any clues. I'll seek Mr. Azik's help regarding the Spirit World Plunderer. After all, the underworld is part of the spirit world. Fourth, all continue investigating the great smog of Backland and find the true culprit. This includes Instant Gwil, as well as the demigod that killed the crazy captain. Holy shit, dude. There aren't any targets more suitable than them for my advancement ritual. However, I have to be careful of 008. I have to constantly keep watch of any intentional coincidences. To see if he's being affected. I'll just dabble in the matter of the ordinary matter and mainly provide support. The dangerous investigations can be handed to Demoness Distressing. I'm gonna probably be reading until the end of this hour, and then I'll come back later at the usual time. Probably. Yeah, at the end of this hour. Yeah. Client's thoughts. So we still have like maybe 4 more chapters. Probably 2 chapters. Client's thought process slowly became clearer, although he still felt worried and fearful. This no longer affected his mental state and capacity to take action. Retracting his gaze from the outside of the balcony, Clank walked into the bathroom and washed up. Soon he opened a door while feeling highly spirited and saw his valet Richardson and butler Walter waiting outside. The gentleman was wearing white gloves as he politely bowed and said, "Good morning, sir. There's only one item on your schedule today. It's join an event at the East Bala Military Veterans Mess with Member of Parliament Mosh at 3 in the afternoon. Do you know the sequence for a ritual for Bazaar?" No, we don't know the ritual. We know the ingredients, but we don't know the ritual. He's a new Member of Parliament, so by his end of the hour is 24 minutes 54 minutes. He's a new Member of Parliament, so by accepting his invitation will also indicate your political inclinations. You still have the opportunity to be hesitant about it. Client thought for a moment before saying, "There's no need, it's my choice." He paused and asked in inquiring tone, "It will be my first time visiting the East Bala Military Veterans Mess. What should I take note of?" Praise their work that they have established in East Balham. Use this opportunity to make some donations. There's no need to give too much or too little. £500 is rather suitable sum. Walter provided his opinion. £500, seriously, no matter which circle I enter, I have to spend large sum of money. This is because Dwayne Tontis doesn't have any birthright or background. He can only open a path with cash. Klein nodded gently and agreed to the butler's suggestion. At the same time, he quickly did account of his present assets. The artisan hasn't completed the work regardless of the ocean songster, but the money for the mentor of disorder and the druid has been obtained. The total is £16,000. What? With the cash I originally had on one hand, subtracting the £13,000 I used to purchase 3% of the coin company shares, as well as the daily expenditures of the tycoon's household and the donations of the church, there's still £23,985. Oh, and 5 gold coins. Fuck, he has so much money. In addition, I still owe Miss Messenger 3,413 gold points yet. Gold coins. Damn. £500 has already exceeded 2% of the cash I have on hand. Klein didn't speak further as he walked out of his bedroom, going to the second floor where the dining room was in order to have its breakfast. At the basement of St. Simon Cathedral, Lord Mitchell returned to his office earlier than his teammates. The fact that I'm yawning scares me, man. 1 cup in the morning does not do it. Holy shit. 1 cup of coffee does not do it. That's kind of scary, man. Earlier than his teammates, he had originally obtained the relevant... In the basement of St. Simon Cathedral, Leonardo Mitchell returned to his office earlier than his teammates. He had already obtained the relevant information as he had learned of an inconspicuous matter. Prince Etzig, who had passed away in the Great Smog of Backland, had once hired a private detective to investigate the death of equestrian teacher Talim Dunmont. And that private detective's name was Sherlock Moriarty. Dude, there's no shot Leonardo doesn't find out who he is at the end of this volume. He's gonna tell him, dude. Easy built up too much of a tolerance. I have, man. And when I don't drink for a day, I get headaches. It's kind of bad. And the private detective name was Sherlock Moriarty. As expected, there are hints of him being involved with the Great Smog of Backland. Leonardo was delighted as he excitedly ruffled his hair. Following that, he pondered down at the documents of his desk with his fist, planning to seek out even more clues. However, he suddenly fell silent for about 8 seconds before raising his cup in embarrassment and drank a mouthful of coffee. He mumbled inwardly, "What did I want to do? I forgot about it after the pounding." What? Who says that? He mumbled inwardly, "What did I want to do? I forgot about it after the pounding." After some careful recall, Leonard finally recalled what it was. He pulled out his drawer and took out a deck of tarot cards. Then he found the full card and placed it on a piece of paper. On it, he wrote 3 names: Sherlock Moriarty, Germansborough, Dwayne Dantes. Oh, shit, dude. Your body will resist. Dude, that's me with just a day. And after the... That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck says after the pounding? Yeah, I get really bad coffee withdrawals. Like, look, I'm telling you, man. When I come back later today, I'm going to get another cup of coffee. You're going to be like, this guy is crazy. After some hesitation... That's going to be my that's gonna be my pre-workout drink. After some hesitation, Leonard drew a... The music is way too low. Let me raise it a bit. No, it's okay. It's right there. After some hesitation, Leonard drew a line linking the 3 names to the Fool card, indicating that they might very well be members of a secret organization that believed in the Fool. Among them, he was most unsure of German Spur's identity as he wrote a question mark. Later, Leonard took out the Emperor card and stuck it beside the name Sherlock Moriarty. He labeled it suspected to be German Spur and Dwayne on his each correspond to a card. Leonard muttered silently. He took out the Crazy Adventure records and began reading them seriously. He is so close. Suddenly, he found a date very similar. Early July. Oh, shit. Early July? Early July. German Spur's first appearance was in early July. No way. Leonard drew a gasp as he flipped through another set of documents. At the end of... Dude, he is such a good detective. What the fuck? Why is he a poet? He should be a detective. At the end of it were the words, At the end of December, Sherlock Moriarty left Backlund and headed south for vacation. He has yet to return. End of December, early July. Backlund, Prince Harbor. Germersburg can change his appearance. No way. Leonard mumbled internally as he drew a dotted equality sign between Sherlock Moriarty and Germensboro. This great detective is the key. Leonard found Sherlock Moriarty and portrait he had drawn via ritual as he carefully looked at it. I gotta show you guys this. This is literally what he's doing right now. Let me leave this. I'm gonna leave this on the screen right here in the bottom for a bit. Hold up. Just wait. Give me a sec. This is what he's doing. Oh, wait. I can't even show my screen. This is literally what he's doing right now. He is like so close. Like he is piecing everything together. He's like, it's at the tip of his tongue, bro. He's like, he's right there. He is so close. He's like, it's at the tip of his tongue, and he just doesn't know it yet, bro. He's so close to the. He is so close. He's just missing one little piece. End of December, early January, Backlund, Prince Harbor, German Sparrow can change his appearance. No way. Like, he's connecting all the dots, dude. Holy shit. No way it ends with him saying, like, he has to figure out who he is. Leonard mumbled inwardly as he drew a dotted equality sign between Sherlock Moriarty and German Sparrow. This great detective is the key. Leonard found Sherlock Moriarty's portrait, and he had via a ritual... Oh, he's gonna look at him. He's gonna... Oh, wait, he's never looked at an actual picture of Sherlock. Oh, my God. He's gonna think it's Klein. Wait, he's going to say it's Klein once he sees the picture. This great detective is the key. Leonard found Sherlock Moriarty portrait that he had drawn via a ritual as he carefully looked at it. After considering the point... Oh, I'm getting chills. Wait. After considering... Oh, just like one line left. After considering the point, looks could be changed. He began imagining the detective in different disguises. As he did it, Leonard's gaze froze bit by bit as he couldn't help but frown. Oh, shit. Oh, dude, he figured it out. As he did that, Leonard's gaze froze bit by bit as he couldn't help but frown. Dude, Amma, thank you for being a member. Holy shit, Leonard is gonna figure it out. No way. Dude, Amma, thank you so much. Holy shit, long time no see, Amma. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Yeah, welcome back. Dude, no fuck. Dude, Leonard has to figure out. Let me do my timestamp. There's no shot he doesn't piece it together. He has to be like, yo, Sherlock is looking a lot like Klein. And he's going to be like, what was Klein's sequence? What's a future sequence? Like, he has to piece it together. He is such a fucking good detective. He's a better detective than me, that's for sure. Wait, let me do my timestamp. You didn't believe in him? Always. I have arrived at the best part. Dude, it's so I finished my coffee. Fuck. I didn't realize I finished my coffee. I have to drink water. This is the best part. Let's fucking keep reading, man. All right. Alma said this is the best part. Alma, you're on time, okay? Oh, it's been a while. All right, let's see if this is the best part. Chapter 851. Yo, Alma, hold up. Look, it's been so long. You haven't seen our new layout. Check it out. Look, that's the new one. But right now we're on full cam. Leonard stared intently at the portrait of Sherlock Moriarty. His brain had just imagined what the latter would look like without glasses or a beard. No way, dude. Is he gonna say that looks like Klein? Oh, shit. Although this could be quite different from the actual situation and was more of a product of imagination, Leonard increasingly found Sherlock Moriarty very familiar, as though he had known him before. How is that? Oh my god, dude! Oh man, I cry. How is that possible? He's long dead, and I buried him with. Oh my god, I'm crying, dude. I'm crying. He figured it out. And I buried him with my own hands. Leonard, I'm instant tears. Holy shit. You did arrive at the best part, Alma. You weren't lying. Wait, I've been waiting for this moment for so long, dude. He's long dead, and I buried him with my own hands. Leonard couldn't help but shake his head as he muttered with a scoff. Just as he said that, his expression froze because the person in his memories held a huge secret. This person has strangely escaped the influence of 2049 without the help of others. This person used 2049 uniqueness to finish off a Sequence 7 Beyonder, and back then he was only a seer who isn't good at combat. This person has managed to summarize the acting method within a very short period of time, and he had advanced the Sequence 8 at an extraordinary pace. This person possessed. Holy shit, dude. I'm crying. This is so good. You're right. He was very close to figuring out. You just had to read one more fucking paragraph. I'm crying, dude. Oh shit. This person possesses a high sequence sun domain charm. He had used it with Captain Dunn, who wielded his saint's asses, successfully finishing off Magoose, who was pregnant with an evil god spawn. This person's Sequence 8 Beyonder characteristic had been taken away by Instant Glow, but Captain Dunsmith's Sequence 7 Beyonder characteristic was left behind. Perhaps it wasn't because Instant Glow had taken away the Beyonder characteristics which had appeared, causing it to be missing from the scene, but that it had never formed to begin with. Leonard Mitchell suddenly jolted to his senses as he observed Sherlock Moriarty's portrait again. Holy shit, dude. 10 seconds later, he squeezed the words through his clenched teeth. Klein Moretti. That's why I told you to keep. No wonder Klein's like, dude, shut the fuck up and keep reading. I'm a dumbass. I should have just kept fucking reading. He found that the mysterious detective Sherlock Moriarty looked more and more like his former teammate, the hero who had saved Tingen, Klein Moretti. Dude, I'm crying, dude. So good. Oh, man. Oh, the feelings of Volume 1 are hitting me like a truck. Oh, shit. And this was under the scenario of him being without the clear discrepancies of glasses and a beard. Leonard had fingers clenching tightly at some point in time as his joints suffused with a whiteness. After a moment, he let out a clear pant as he picked up Sherlock Moriarty's doister again. This time, he flipped with a target in his mind, roughly to the time when Sherlock first appeared in Backland, early September. Holy shit. And this wasn't long after Klein Moretti had been buried. Leonard, oh, is he gonna go dig up his grave? Holy, he's gonna find the grave missing. 40, oh my god. He's gonna dig up an empty grave? The Undying, dude. Oh my god. It's called The Undying because freaking Leonard figured it out. Oh my god, this is such a... This might just be better than Volume 1. Holy shit, he got it? Bro. Leonard Mitchell's green eyes... Leonard Mitchell's beautiful, dazzling, handsome hunk of a green eyes turned dark as he instinctively flipped to the doorster. Then he saw a name, Lenavus. This was one of the master... He's like, dude, he's avenging Dunn. He's avenging Dunn Smith. Then he saw a name. This is the best chapter of Volume 4 so far. Fuck what I've said last stream. Foggy Town, get out of here. This is the best chapter ever, dude. Then he saw a name. He really is the protagonist now, Leonard. He really is the protagonist. Then he saw a name, Lanavus. This was one of the masterminds behind the evil god's descent in Tingen City. He was one of the main murderers who led the death of Dunn Smith and Klein Moretti and the other Nighthawks. I'm crying, dude. I'm choking up. And Sherlock Moriarty's second record in backline was the investigations of the dock of serial murder, thus bumping into the disguised Lenevus. After this, the true creator's plan of descending was foiled, and Lenevus died in the sewers. His body was scattered with tarot cards, making it identical in style to the subsequent hero banded Black Emperor. He didn't forget the harm that Swindler brought. Leonard whispered silently, his expression softly. This is so good. I can't even read right now, dude. I'm so excited. Off to Tingen. Holy shit, dude. I got tears in my eyes. Oh shit. He flipped through the documents and sat on the chair, motionless for an extended period of time. It was as though he had fallen asleep from the shadows brought about by the light. After a few minutes, Leonard finally moved. He leaned into the chair and said in a deep voice, "Old man, do you think the detective Shirley Martin resembles my teammate back in Tingen City, Klein Moretti?" In his mind, the aged voice said with some hesitation, "The one who joined Nighthawks because of the Antigonus family notebook?" Holy shit. Literally the gift that keeps on giving, dude. Season ends is crazy? Okay, I don't want to know how it... Oh, dude, no way. Yes, Leonard answered in the heavy voice. In his body, the parasite said after 2 seconds, "There's some resemblance." After receiving the reply, Leonardo once... I fucking love this series, dude. After receiving the reply, Leonardo once again fell in silence. After a long while, he took out a gold pocket watch and snapped the open to determine that it was still morning. Leonard snapped his pocket watch closed and stood up, nearly overturning the stack of documents. He hurriedly reached out of his hand and held onto the documents. Then he left behind a note saying that he had found certain clues and planned to head out to do some investigations, thus making it possible that he would return very late. Let me see if someone is pretending to be Tingen City's hero, or if would have been wearing masks. A secret organization member who sneaked into the Nighthawks. Your true motives aren't much loftier than Instago. You were also targeting something behind China's Gate. Leonardo no longer had the aloof attitude as his eyes narrowed as he quickly same-sort of cathedral basement. In Hillston Borough, outside a building was quite a unique architect. I don't need coffee. Just read LOTM. Look, I'm awake now. In Hillston Borough, outside a building with quite a... Can you guys tell when I get really excited, I'm like wide awake, right awake? I was yawning after my coffee, after I finished my coffee, but look, now I'm wired. In Hillston Borough, outside a building was quite a unique architecture. Dwayne Taunton got off his carriage and saw the building that was built in the style of the late 4th epoch. The building was mostly composed of huge stone slabs, creating a total of 4 stories. The windows on each level were like a door, and it was matched with a tiny balcony. Its entire facade had been weathered by the elements, revealing a sandy yellow color. The stone columns and the arches held up a refined porch that made it seem rather magnificent. This was the East Balham Military Veterans Mess. Klein waved his cane and pointed at the building before him and said with a smile, "It has quite a historic feel." Member of the Parliament, Mach nodded in reply. Even though it's a building built in ancient style, it's still more than 100 years of history. As he spoke, he led Dwayne Dantes into the club and said to the lady in the reception, "Dwayne Dantes' unofficial members all be his recommender." With that said, he turned to the tycoon and explained, "Not only have you not served in East Balham, but you have never participated in the wars that happened there. You don't even have a military background, so there's no way for you to be an official member. However, even being an unofficial member will allow you free entry and then use of the very faculties. You'll be able to enjoy the delicious foods and alcohol and get to know different friends." That's exactly what I was hoping for. Klein out of a smile. After the beautiful lady who was of the southern continent descent finished her registration, Mach added, "There's no admission fee. It's £60 a year for that membership." With that said, he chuckled and said, "It's not expensive, even more so for you. Here, you will get to come into contact with all kinds of weapons. There are enough shooting ranges to provide you with a shooting practice. You even learn horse riding." That'd be a fun arc. We'll learn horse riding. Let me turn the volume down a bit. At a club of this level, £60 really isn't expensive. After all, generals often appear here, and they have many famous chefs. Klein didn't speak further. Chefs? Klein didn't speak further as he took out his wallet. He counted £60 and gave it to the receptionist, obtaining a badge with the logo of a forest, ocean, and blades. This is the... Wow, my nose got so stuffy after last chapter. Holy shit. Oh, man. Back-to-back beggars from LTM today. Oh, my God. This is so good. This is a place filled with glory. I can't speak anymore. My nose is so congested. I got too emotional. This place is filled with glory. I'm deeply impressed with your contributions in East Balham. As Klein wore the badge with a number on it, he said to Mach, "If I wish to contribute to your cause, what should I look for?" Mach pointed at the receptionist. "Just give it to her. She will joint it down and announce it on the notice board over there." Klein nodded slightly and said, "All right." He then turned his head and made Richardson take out 500 pounds that I had already prepared. After giving the donations, Klein passed through the beautifully decorated foyer with Mach, arriving at a room that resembled an activity room. As for his valet, Richardson remained outside in the break room. There were snacks, teas, and coffee there. In the small room, though Mach introductions, Klein got to know 5 officers who were either still in service or retired. Apart from a particular House of Commons, members of Parliament, the highest-ranking equilit was the Colonial Calvin. He was presently working at the Lone Kingdom's Ministry of Defense. However, his actual position was unknown. According to what Klein knew, for quasi-high-ranking members of the military at the rank of the Colonial, I'm reading that wrong. They were mostly Beyonders, mid-sequence Beyonders. Mach, Calvin, and company quickly began chatting. Klein didn't interject as he seriously listened to their conversations, occasionally echoing a sentence or two. In this relaxed atmosphere, Calvin suddenly turned his head and said to Dwayne Dantes, "I heard you were often active in West Balham." The Colonial had a long face like a donkey's, but it didn't look like comical at all. His gaze was rather deep. Klein smiled and replied, "Yes, that place is more chaotic than East Balham." Calvin laughed when he heard that. Of course, Intis made too many mistakes over here. He paused and continued asking, "How is your relationship with the people from the Intis over there?" Klein didn't understand the Colonial's motives as he bit the bullet and said, "It's alright." I think on-screen chat froze. Oh, wait, no, it's back. Your message popped up. Let me see. It seems so. Really? Let me refresh it. Let me refresh it. I'll refresh it. I'm refreshing it. Oh, load right now. There you go. It's loading in. It's loading in now. I think we should be good. We should be good now. The Colonial had a long... I read this. Of course, Intis made too many mistakes over there. He paused and continued asking, "How is your relationship with the people from Intis over there?" Klein didn't understand the Colonial's motives as he bit the bullet and said, "It's alright, they're all very greedy." In fact, he didn't know a single person. He only ever heard Anderson mention a few names in their corresponding manners. Okay, it's back. Calvin nodded and raised another question. "Are you familiar with the tribes over there as well as resistance?" "I know some." Klein answered vaguely. He only knew one Intis military leader of the resistance. It was the former Intis principal, Queen Mystic Bernadette. Calvin laughed as he took a sip from the cup of red wine. During this process, no one spoke, including Mach. After putting down his cup, Calvin looked at Dwayne Dantes again and said, "This is a thing every year we would obsolete many rifles and cannons and directly destroy them, or processing them is too much of a waste or costs too much. It's not a good solution. I'm not sure if you're interested in buying in Bosch and selling it to West Balham. You can sell it to the regions ruled by Intis, selling them to the tribes of resistance. Trust me, this is definitely a very lucrative business. Of course, it's also very dangerous. If you caught by Intis in the West Balham, we will disavow you. This is making me an arms dealer. This is one of the most lucrative business. Although I'm not familiar with West Balham and all..." I can't read anymore, man. I got way too excited. My brain is shutting down. Although I'm not familiar with West Balham at all and lack any connections, I can sell it to Queen Mystic or the resistance of the Roasted Archipelago. Klein was tempted as he deliberately wore a mixed and hesitant expression. "I've never done such a thing before, but it's definitely attractive enough." Calvin laughed and said, "There's no need to rush the decision. This is a very important matter that requires serious matters. Just give your answer to Mach before the end of the week." Klein secretly heaved a sigh of relief as he nodded with a smile. All right, Tingen City, Raphael Cemetery. Oh my God, he's gonna dig up his grave. Tingen City, Raphael Cemetery. Oh, it's been so long. Yes, Ratist. Tingen City, Raphael Cemetery. Although the afternoon sun was rather strong, this place remained gloomy and cold. Leonard was standing in front of the grave, staring silently at the tombstone. Oh my God, he's gonna dig it up. Chapter 852 is called Straight to the Point. Bro, this is gonna be the last chapter before I have to head out. But this is such a good... This is such a good read-through, dude. Oh my God. He's gonna see the empty grave and then he's gonna piece it together, dude. Oh man, this is so good. The peak of Volume 4, holy shit, man. Truly the Undying. He's gonna see the empty grave and be like, "The Undying, baby." Oh, let's go, dude. Holy shit, man. I fucking love Lord of the Mysteries. Oh man, I need to sip my water. I'm getting lightheaded. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad, brothers and sisters. Holy shit, I'm getting lightheaded. Ooh, let me sip some water. Do you think he'll be happy or angry that Klein isn't dead? I think he'll be happy. This is a bad chapter. Stop bot. Let him suffer. No, it's okay. I don't know what you guys talking about. This has to be our last chapter. We're out of time. We're out of time. But I'm gonna read one more before I head out, and then I'll come back. I'm gonna schedule my time. I'm gonna schedule the time when I normally stream. But the second I'm back, and if I'm available early, I'll go live right away. So I might go live like an hour earlier. We'll find out. Yeah, of course I think he's gonna be found. I think oh, look, before I read this chapter, 852 straight to the point, I think Leonard doesn't have a lot of mixed emotions. One, he's gonna be happy he's alive, but another thing, he's gonna be mad that he hasn't told him. You know, him being the main protagonist that he is, and like, why hasn't Klein come to me? Like, why hasn't he asked me for help? You know, like, because the end of volume 1 both ended with Leonard and Klein wanting to avenge Dunn, and you know, like they wanted to avenge them. But it's like he's gonna be very conflicted. So I think when Leonard fights him, he's gonna be like, "Why didn't you tell me, huh?" And then like it's gonna be such a beautiful moment when we have the two protagonists face off against each other. Interesting prediction, interesting fact, man. Let's find out. 852. This is gonna be our last chapter. Straight to the point. The sun hung brightly in midair in a dark, silent corner of the cemetery. Thank you for subscribing, man. Leonard Mitchell suddenly raised the shovel beside him. The two mounds of soul at the side gradually raised in height as the coffin pit became obvious. From time to time, there would be passerby, but they didn't notice anything, as though a dream was happening over there. Finally, Leonard drew the shovel and bent down. He reached out to grab the end of the coffin lid with both hands. Using immense strength, he pulled open the heavy wooden lid and discovered that the thick, long nails had fallen off at some point in time. There was nothing inside the pitch black coffin. Holy shit, nothing. Leonard continued keeping his body hunched as he silently watched the scene without any further movement. He stood there like a petrified statue for a very long time. In his hazy dream, Klein saw a tombstone with an epitaph. It stood silently among many other tombstones as it was dyed in crimson moonlight. The scene shattered immediately as Klein snapped awake. He confirmed that he was still Dwayne Tauntas and that he was still inside 160 Buckland Street master bedroom. That dream seems to be telling me something. I'm crying, dude. As a seer, Klein treated every dream seriously. This was no exception. He focused and shook himself out of his state of drowsiness before attempting to make an interpretation. That's likely a tomb. This represents a particular deceased or someone related to resurrection. The crimson moonlight that represents the goddess corresponding to Church of Evernight and Goddess. If I were to directly see the moon, it might involve the primordial moon, vampire ancestor Lilith, and the mother tree of desire. The tomb was dyed with color, almost resembling blood. This symbolizes something bad. As Klein did an interpretation of the dream, he gathered all the content and attempted to make an effective, meaningful conclusion. After some seriously thought, he began to believe that the dream revelation was referring to the past hymn of the Church of Evernight. After making the connections with what had happened past few days, Klein slowly came to an answer. As Dwayne Tauntas had repeated head to St. Simon Cathedral, he must have been added to a list of suspects. If Leonard hasn't left Backland, this must have garnered his attention. After all, he knows that Dwayne Tauntas isn't a simple person and has mysterious origins. As an angel from the Martyrs Pathway, Leonard and Grandpa probably discovered that the gray fog in the sheer pathway had intricate ties, and knowing the corresponding sequence zero is called the Fool. This way, they would naturally be able to make connections with the offering naked of the Fool that was previously spread. I can't read, man. My nose is so congested. That was previously spread, and they would believe that I'm a member of the secret organization that worshipped the Fool. And developing on this clue, it can involve the person who killed Lenivus and the hero-abandoned emperor who had used tarot cards, along with German Sparrow clues I deliberately left behind, as well as Leonard's pre-investigation into Charlotte Moriarty. It's not impossible for him to put things together and find what's highly dubious. And in the beginning, Charlotte Moriarty's disguise wasn't too good. As long as Leonard investigates seriously, it wouldn't be difficult to discover that the great detective resembles his former colleague. So he went to Tingen to dig up the grave for confirmation. As he thought about the matter, Klein pulled a back cushion over and sat up. He felt that he had already found the answer in his dream. Holy shit, he knows that he knows. So when they have a conversation, bro, slow down. Dude, it is so good. He's going to be like, you know that I know that you know I am me. So good, dude. Yeah, because seriously, and I was like, what could happen afterwards, considering if he should abandon the identity of Dwayne's Dantes? I can't read slow, Wiz. I gotta beat you already. You're doing too much. I gotta pass you, brother. What's up, Wiz? Hope you have a good day, dude. Bro, underestimated the lock-in of Easy. Leonardo, hell yeah, he underestimated. He underestimated us. He was 190 chapters behind. Now he's only 150 chapters ahead. Look at that. Look at that. We're catching up, bro. I'm creeping up on you, brother. Based on my experience, I'm sorry, I'm just trolling you. I'm sorry, I apologize. Based on my experience and my understanding of him, he will still steer to the matter via different mentions. And this will be more complicated and troublesome, wasting even more time. Before that happens, I should find him and give him another warning. It should... No, he's gonna give him another warning? It should snuff out whatever's on his mind. After all, the church didn't suffer any material loss, nor did anyone die. Yes, Dwayne Dantes, I have taken note of the time. I specially created tracks of my activity in the southern continent over the past few months, staggering it with the decline of German Sparrow sightings, and this involves the Intis colony, so it will be rather difficult to verify this matter. Why is my phone ringing? One sec. One sec. Okay, we're good. Yes, for Dwayne, I read this. All right, sorry, I had to read a message. That also means that Leonard has at best figured out that German Sparrow equals Sherlock Moriarty equals Klein Moretti. He would just believe that I'm in cahoots with them, part of a secret organization that believes in the fool. Huh? To him, Dwayne Dantes is a powerful, mysterious beyonder who can sense the grandpa in him, a demigod. This is an obvious discrepancy with the other identities. Klein soon came up with the countermeasures as he turned his attention to the matters he encountered in East. It's going to be such a crazy conversation, dude. At East Ballin Military Veterans Mess in the afternoon. Why would they directly seek me out of such a private arms deal? I just established a friendship with Moch and hadn't experienced any tests. I don't deserve such a test. Perhaps it's a test. In the beginning, it would just be rifles and cannons. The quantity would probably be limited, nor will it involve high-quality items. Furthermore, I'll need to come up with the cash before receiving the goods. If I have any real problems, they wouldn't suffer any losses. They will only suffer the repercussions of a small batch of weapons falling into the hands within their own domain of control. Yes, to them, a tycoon like me with a complicated background and a deep understanding of the West Ballum really is an excellent candidate. First, I have the money. Second, I have the guts. Third, I have the resources and social connections that allowing the arms to be solid to the suitable factions. Fourth, I have no background. I can't read anymore, man. I'm too excited, bro. Oh my goodness. Fourth, I have no background in the upper echelons of the kingdom. I can always be made the scapegoat and be abandoned. I cannot read. I'm too fucking excited now. Holy shit, man. Let me raise the volume just a bit. Okay, this is good. This is a lot better. Just raising the volume for you guys. Oh, man. I can't read. I'm too fucking excited. Alright, I'm just raising the volume up a bit. In the basement of the same semi-cathedral, Leonard, who had returned from Tingen, managed to be in time for the team's internal meeting. He's not going to say anything, right? Soist first briefed them on the conclusion of the Archbishop and what the other local Nighthawks teams had obtained. With the help of the Holy Cathedral, Saint Anthony had confirmed that the infiltrator... You can catch up? We are going to catch up. What do you mean, I can? We are, dude. With the help of the Holy Cathedral, St. Anthony had confirmed that the infiltrator is German Sparrow. The conclusion is that this crazy criminal is still alive but doesn't exist in the world. This is truly a contradictory statement. I don't understand it as well. His Grace didn't explain anything either. In short, our focus will be on the investigation of German Sparrow. According to the information provided by MI9, German Sparrow is a fake identity. He originally came from Backland. After Soyce finished the briefing, he asked, Do you have anything to add? You will. Thank you. Not can. Will. Leonardo opened his mouth and was just about to say something, but his eyes shimmered twice before he fell silent again. Soyce turned his head and glanced at him, calling him out by his name. Leonard, did you discover any clues? Leonard remained silent for a second before shrugging. That clue has been eliminated. Soyce didn't ask further as he looked at the other teammates. After a series of supplementary information and analysis, he began assigning missions to his Red Gloves team. After everything was assigned, Leonard Mitchell held a name list that required him to enter their dreams. From a cross-check, he returned to the break room above and threw his body into bed. He sat there silently as he raised his hand to comb his hair, preparing to begin taking action. However, the first dream he entered wasn't anyone in the name list. His target was Dwayne Dantes. After repeating, I'm gonna have a serious conversation with Mrs. I'm like, yo, I gotta stream all day. I will. That is the plan. After repeated considerations, he began to speak to this secret organization member, an undying monster from the fourth epoch, face to face. He wanted to see what information he could sound out. This looked somewhat rash, but with both parties knowing each other's secrets, it was still a good choice. 160 Buckland Street. Klein's drowsy mind suddenly became clear as he knew that someone had entered his dream. He pondered silently, sitting in the reclining chair, and turned his head to look at the balcony. He saw a black-haired, green-eyed man wearing a white shirt and black vest nimbly leap inside. It was none other than Leonard Mitchell. I haven't gone looking for you, and here you are coming to my doorstep. Holy shit, dude. Oh, man. I'm about to cry. Oh, my God. Their conversations have so many more layers now, dude. Oh, man. Like, now he knows. The other night... I'm crying, dude. The other Nighthawks would politely knock on the door before entering. Only you would jump into balconies. Klein lampooned as he looked at the poet approach him. At this moment, Leonard's eyes, Dwayne Tontis was still wearing a former student of the dream. His sideburns were gray, and he had an angular face with an immense amount of charm. At this moment, the tycoon wore a smile, as though he wasn't hiding the fact that he remained lucid and he wasn't affected by Nighthawk. Didn't Palat Zoros teach you some manners? Ew, dude, he's talking shit. Didn't Palas Zaros teach you some manners? Klein said with a tone he believed matched Leonard's impression of him. Palas Zaros, he's warning me again. Leonard was taken aback as he remembered the name. He quickly reined in his thoughts and bowed in a manner that lacked standards. Please pardon me for your intrusion. You are our investigation list. Wasn't the infiltration done by you guys? Is that your goal for coming to Backland? No, Klein and his Dwayne Dance's disguise raised the cup of red wine and sipped it. It's not us, but just him alone. He put on an act that he wasn't afraid of Leonard's knowing. German Sparrow, Leonard asked in a deep tone. Klein glanced at him with deep blue eyes that seemed to have some vicissitudes. I can't read this word. Vicissitudes of life. Isn't that obvious? What does he actually want to do? He didn't take anything away. Leonard took the opportunity to ask. Klein raised his hand to stroke his white sideburns and chuckled. What do you think is the answer? Ah, come on. I have to read another fucking chapter. I cannot stop here. What do you think? I have to read one more. I have to read one more chapter. I'm sorry. I have to read one more fucking I'm not stopping here. Fuck it. I'm reading one more chapter. It's all for a just cause. Let me just go out and leave my phone charging. Hold up. Fuck that cliffhanger. I'm not stopping there. I'm not gonna stop all that fucking cliffhanger. Fuck that dumbass cliffhanger. Oh, wait, it's not a dumbass cliff. Told you, I'm fucking reading one more. Let me just go charge my phone. I'll be right back. I'm reading one more. I'm fucking reading one more. I would be so mad if I was on this fucking cliffhanger. If I had to read this shit weekly and daily, I would have killed myself by now. I'm sorry. I don't mean to belittle that word, but I'll be right back. Let me just go charge my... Wow. Hold up. Give me like 1 minute to find a really good song to play. Let me just go to my playlist. Let me find one song that's gonna fit. Hold up. Give me a sec. What if we play Grieving? Does this fit? The Holy Child. No, it's too hype. Let's just play Siblings. I think this can work. Let's just play Emil Sacrifice. I think this worked. I need to get back to COI. I'm gonna play this song. I think this. Let's just loop Emil Sacrifice. No. What am I saying? Let's just loop Lumiere. Yo, what's the name of that emote? Too loud. I'ma just loop Emil. I'ma loop Emil. I think somebody said it earlier. Hope it's that one more chapter that makes me read all of it to himself. Bro, it's like I was supposed to end stream 5 minutes ago, but I gotta read one more chapter. I need one more because that cliffhanger did not do justice. I need to read more. It did. Hold up. It did do justice as giving you a cliffhanger chapter, but because I have all the chapters, I gotta read one more. That is not my stopping point for now. But chapter 857 is called Comparison of Experience and Sophisticacy. I can't even read the title. It's okay. We know what it means. What do you think? If I were to know the answer, why would I be here? I'd have long handed this information to my superiors. Leonard silently mumbled as he deliberated over his words. During this process, he discovered that although he was standing straight and looking down on Dwayne Dantes, the tycoon who was sitting leisurely in the reclining chair held the aura of having the advantage. It was like a high-ranking personage casually listening to his subordinates reports. This made Leonard feel a little uneasy. He subconsciously surveyed the area and pulled a chair over as he leaned back into it, half out of habit and half as a deliberate action. I believe he or all of you are searching for something. Back in Tigan, he infiltrated the Nighthawks to search for something. I'm gonna lower the volume down just a bit. Near music is fire. I'm gonna lower it down just a bit, just so it's like, I feel like this hits right now. Back in Tengen, he infiltrated the Nighthawks to search for something. In Backland, he also infiltrated China's Gate to search for an item. His search was fruitless for the first time, so he escaped by feigning death by using Insanguil's assault. He still failed to find in the second time, hence he didn't take anything and directly left China's Gate. While speaking, Leonard used a very certain tone to divulge that he had figured out Germansborough was Sherlock Moriarty and also Klein Moretti. He wished to use the effect of pressure to make Dwayne Dantes not appear that calm or have any thoughts of resorting to sophisticating. Indeed, he went to dig my grave. Klein sighed inwardly as he chuckled. He picked up the glass of red wine and gently swirled it. Do you think that we would consecutively make two rash attempts before having any confirmed intelligence? You should know that such matters can only be done once. Once there's a failure, there's no way it can succeed again. Therefore, who would use an operation to verify one's guess the target isn't clear? He has tactfully confirmed my explanation. Klein Moretti is Germansborough, hero bandit Black Emperor, a member of the secret organization who believes in the fool. Leonard tried hard not to frown as he crossed his right leg and said, "So it's not that nothing was found, but that there was a failure due to other factors?" During these two attempts, Tingan City St. Selena Cathedral and Backland St. Selma Cathedral only shared two common items: sealed artifact 2049 and the Antigonus family notebook. Antigonus family notebook, that's it. Klein Moretti joined the Nighthawks because of it. Along the process of inference is wrong. I'm getting hot, bro. I'm starting to get, oh my, I'm burning up. This is so good. This conversation is so fucking good. Although the process of inference is... Wait, I skipped the line. Antigonus family notebook, that's it. Klein Moretti joined the Nighthawks because of it. Although the process of inference is wrong, the answer is actually corrected. Klein chuckled and said, our brains aren't there just for show. If his goal was the Antigonus family notebook, there was no need for him to join the Nighthawks. Before you obtained it, he had plenty of opportunities. And even after you obtained it, he had no lack of opportunities to obtain it. You should understand the situation. I'm sorry, I'm burping. Back then, better than I do. Also, since the target was Antigonus family notebook, why didn't he take it away? Upon being mocked by Dwayne Dantes, Leonardo Mitchell realized that the theory he came up with on the spot was filled with logical contradictions. He felt ashamed as he showed some anger. He slowly took a deep breath and said, then why would he infiltrate China's Gate using two different methods only didn't take... Dude, it's like they're going at odds with their ideas, right? Or their theories. He slowly took a deep breath and said, then why would he infiltrate China's Gate using two different methods oh my god, there's so many what ifs going on here. And not only didn't he take something away, but he didn't even leave anything behind. He even entered a strange state. Just as Leonard said that, he saw Dwayne Dantes with his gray sideburns produce a deep, profound smile. I'm not sure the reason for the latter matters. Perhaps you should ask the Evernight Goddess. Goddess, what does he mean? Leonard instantly felt alarmed and puzzled. He found it unimaginable as to what had happened behind St. Samuel Cathedral Channes Gate. Right on the heels of that, he heard Dwayne Dantes said with a deep laugh, "As for your first question, I believe you are mistaken about something. Our organization's members come from different places and join for different reasons, choosing to change their own faith in the process. As for what happened before that, their lives remained their own. Just like me, I had a past and have a present as well. The reason why I came here is because of the last name I gave myself. Dantes, the Return of the Count." Oh, that's the play you guys were talking about. From the first play in Volume 1. He joined a secret organization that worships the fool for revenge and came to Backland. Leonard nodded in thought. Klein paused for a few seconds as he casually slipped the red wine and wore a smile. He continued similarly. He who was resurrected because of an Antigonus family notebook curse, does it for vengeance as well? Klein, oh my god, Leonard is gonna say, I want to join for vengeance as well. That's how this chapter ends. Like, I want to join for vengeance. I want to join for the same reasons as you. Klein paused for a few seconds as he casually slipped the red wine and wore a smile. He continued, similarly, he who was resurrected because of Antigonus family notebook's curse does it for vengeance as well. Klein had deliberately mentioned his present last name Dantes and mentioned revenge. It was to preemptively disguise himself from German Sparrow and Klein Moretti. It was to prevent Leonard from later finding similar objectives between the two and began making a deeper connection from the similarities. There are so many layers behind this right now. Holy shit. By personally mentioning it, it framed the listener's thoughts process and made them subconsciously follow the logic that the content, thus treating Dwayne Dantes and Klein Moretti as two completely different people. The only similarity was that their thoughts of revenge, and in this world, there weren't only two Avengers. Leonard lowered his crossed right leg unknowingly as he leaned forward. Vengeance. So why does he wish to seek revenge on? Oh, who does he seek to revenge on? Death Note type of shit? Yes, this is some Death Note type of shit right here. It's like L and it's so funny. Wait, no, it's not funny. It's just, oh man, it's too many layers. Like, one thing is watching it and another thing is just reading it, you know? Oh shit, this monologue is, oh man, I'm getting a headache. Why does he wish to seek revenge? After asking him the question, the elegant and handsome middle-aged gentleman curled the corners of his lips. Lenavus and Inzanguel. Shit. Inzanguel, Leonard blurted out as he couldn't help but have his expression repeatedly change. Finally, he fell silent. His green eyes looked ahead, unfocused, his thoughts of mystery. Few, after a long silence, Leonard exhaled and released his originally clenched hands. He asked with his voice a little hoarse, Lenavus was really killed by him. Of course, Klein secretly sighed as he replied calmly. Leonard's mouth gaped open as he thought, as though he wished to say something, but he didn't. He didn't purse his lips, realizing that his goals had been met. He immediately changed the topics and chuckled. If you have a similar goal or require help, you can also chant his honorific name. Perhaps you'll receive a response. Holy shit, he's gonna join. He, that secret existence, the fool. Leonard imagined that Dwayne Dantes was habitually proselytizing and attempting to develop the secret organization. Therefore, he didn't think further and replied with silence. Klein then laughed. By the way, help me pass a message to Palazaros. One of our organization members encountered blasphemer Amon in the Forsaken Lands of Gods. Holy shit, he's gonna pray to him at the end of this chapter. The piece of information contained massive amounts of information, so much that Leonard was temporarily at a loss for how to respond. He didn't mind. His mind kept reverberating with the relevant information. The Forsaken Land of Gods, the Forsaken Lands of Gods that even the 7 churches are unable to find. Their secret organization actually has members who can enter the Forsaken Land of Gods. This is like I'm being like mentally overstimulated right now, bro. There's so much happening right now. Blasphemer Amon. Old man told me that he's hiding from a high sequence beyonder with the last name Amon. He was heavily injured by Amon and has no choice but to parasitize me. Dwayne Dantes. I'm getting lightheaded, man. I'm out of breath. This is such a good series. Oh my god, bro. I gotta slow down. I need a fan, bro. I'm actually burning up, dude. I'm gonna go take Tylenol right now. I'm gonna end stream and actually go take a Tylenol. If I had a If I had my little thermometer, I'd be like at 100 degrees right now. I'm actually catching a fever. I never thought I'd have to fan myself while reading this shit live, dude. What the fuck? I never thought I'd actually have to fan myself down. You know when the ladies go crazy like, oh my god, it's him. And they're like, and then they come in with a fan. It's such a trope. I actually get it, man. You good, man? I need a minute. Wow, man. Dwayne Dante's tone and attitude really is like an undying monster who lives from the fourth epoch. He's also the same or a similar... I'm so lightheaded, I can't read. He's also the same or similar level as Old Man. In front of him, I really don't feel any sense of superiority. I even feel like I'm lacking confidence. As his thoughts ran through his head, Leonard forced his smile to focus. I'll pass on the message to him. Based on the circumstances after Leonard entered the dreams of others, it can be determined that Grandpa doesn't completely control his senses. Otherwise, he would have definitely have an abnormal reaction when he hears the name Blaster Ramon. Previously, Will Ossiton's words also corroborate this point. Only when my dream poet encounters true danger would Grandpa sense it and take action. Very good. He isn't a full parasite. As Klein interpreted the unspoken information, he smiled. You may leave. You can also relax. My goal isn't the church every night. My coming goals, not the ones of the past. Klein silently added... I can't read, man. Klein silently added in Leonard had already... My brain shut down. Leonard had already received enough information, thus he didn't dare overstay his welcome. He got up and bowed. Then he left Dwayne Dante's dreams. In a room of the black streets of St. Samuel Cathedral, Leonard woke up and heard the aged voice from Parasite in him echo in his mind. What did he say? Leonard deliberated over his words and said, he directly admitted to being a member of that secret organization that believes in the Fool. Likewise for Klein Moretti, whose alias is German Sparrow. Their goal is for vengeance, their own vengeance. Wait, I'm so overwhelmed. I didn't even catch this. So he was able to successfully instill the thought that Dwayne Dantes and German Sparrow are two different things. So now Leonard knows that Klein is German Sparrow, but he doesn't know that Klein is Dwayne Dantes. He was able to instill that thought process in him. Got it. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm all over the place. Yes, what did he say? Leonard deliberated over his words and said he directly admitted to being a member of the secret organization that believes in the Fool. Likewise for Klein Moretti, whose alias is German Sparrow. 2 levels of gaslighting. Holy shit. He actually gaslit him. Even though he figured it out, he gaslit him again. He gaslit me. I completely missed that part. Likewise for Klein Moretti, whose alias is German Sparrow. Their goal is for vengeance, their own vengeance. Haha, dude. But Lazarus fell silent for a second before saying, did he say how Klein Moretti could be resurrected? Or how did he fake his death to such an extent? Leonard recalled and said, the explanation he gave was a curse from the Tiggins family notebook. Curse. At this point, Leonard discovered that Dwayne Dante's choice of words was rather strange. He had described the power of resurrecting the dead as a curse. Truly the undying, bro. Palat Zarost, gaslight girl boss. Palat Zarost didn't seem to have any questions about that. After a few seconds of silence, he said, what else did he say? Leonard didn't hide it from him and said frankly, he mentioned Blaster Ramon, saying that a member of the organization met him in the Forsaken Lands of Gods. Old man, is that the Amon you mentioned? The edge voice replied after a while, probably. He paused for a moment before saying, I believe that Dwayne Dantes knows the Fool that's backing him might be the same old friend of mine. What the fuck? The Fool is his friend. I believe that Dwayne Dantes know the Fool that's backing him might be some old friend of mine. What? What? The former Fool was a friend, or like, okay. Old man, so lightheaded again. I'm so glad I'm ending stream after this because I need to wind down. Old man believes that... I skipped. He paused for a moment before saying, I believe that Dwayne Dantes know the Fool that's backing him might be some old friend of mine. Old man believes that he's at a higher level than Dwayne Dantes or even higher. He's a grounded angel. Leonard thought and asked, which old friend? Plazaros didn't answer as he asked, are you going to find an opportunity to reveal the situation about Dwayne Dantes and Klein Moretti? Leonard suddenly fell silent and only heavily said more than 10 seconds. Not for now. Perhaps he and I and them have the chance of working together, and the church didn't suffer any material loss this time. Holy shit, he's gonna join the Tarot Club. The person inside him didn't say a word, as though he had fallen asleep. Leonard slowly looked up and read the information in front of him. His eyes turned dark as he muttered, "He's overtaken me by leaps and bounds." What a good series, man. Oh my goodness. One sec. Overall thoughts before I forget. We gotta talk about that. His friend. A former friend. Let me pause the music because I feel... Oh, actually, no, I pause it. It's okay. 1 hour, 45 minutes, 03. Oh wait, when I put this chapter, it's overall thoughts. It's like, let me change the music. Hold up. Just go back up here. Okay. All right, we're gonna do overall thoughts. The writing is, dude, the writing is so good. I'm lightheaded. I'm burning up. I'm out of breath. I can't even read anymore. That's how good this. I literally had to fan myself down this stream. That's how damn good the writing is. We unsent a message. Dran Ren had a message unsent. Like, this is what I'm thinking. The only way, like, a former fool. The only person that was this close to being the fool was Zaratul, but he wasn't the fool. He was an attendant of mysteries. Unless... No. Sequence 1, attendant of mysteries, Zaratul, but he's not the fool. Maybe... Oh, shit! Zaratul is the attendant for the fool. You're not ready for the ending for Fool Zaratul? It rhymes. Fool Zaratul. Fool Zaratul, it rhymes. It does not rhyme. Does it actually rhyme? The Fool. Fool Zaratul. Oh my god, it does rhyme. Holy shit. Wait, it does rhyme. How did Zaratul become an attendant of mysteries? Can you remember? I don't remember how he became an attendant of mysteries. He was always... Oh my god, sequence 2. He was the miracle invoker. And then he became he became the attendant of the mysteries and went mad. I don't remember how he became the attendant of mysteries. But what is Zaratul's goal in the grand scheme? Why did blasphemer Amon attack Palaz Zerast? I'm just, man, I have a headache. I don't know if you can tell. I have a headache. If you keep reading, you'll blow up. Something's gonna blow up if I keep reading. I fucking love Lord of Mysteries, dude. He asked Roselle to steal something from him and use it to advance. Remember what, bruh? I slept for 13 hours. I'm so tired. Cammy, bro, this I have such a headache. I'm tweaking out, man. Go get some rest. I can't even get some rest. I have to go out and do some stuff, and then I'll be back. Who is the high sequence before Zaratul? We don't know. The only other high sequence beyonder that we know of besides Zaratul is the sequence 1 high angel with freaking maggots at the throne room in the foggy town. Those are the only 2 high sequence years we know of. And whatever the freaking gray fog is. Like, the only high sequence seers we know of... I can hear Ellie barking. I know, Ellie, 1 second. The only, like, it's the freaking maggots in the room, in the throne, the empty throne, and Zaratul. That's it. Some people here need to get timed out. It's okay. No, it's right. If I didn't read spoilers. It's okay. Guys, just let him think of it on his own. It's okay. We'll chill. It's clearly Rosago. It's clearly Rosago. Oh my god, it's Amon. Amon switched to Seer. No, not Amon is the maggots. No, wait, no. That's not what I meant. What? No, that's not what I meant. No. That's not... Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking that Amon is a seer. I think he switched to. I think he switched and became the new I think he became the new attendant of mysteries. And that's why he said the fool. You guys have been gaslighting me. No, not Amon is Artul. I'm thinking that Amon switched to the seer pathway and became the attendant of mysteries. Because he said the fool when he pierced into the veil of when he pierced into the gray fog, right? You guys have been gaslighting me since day one. You're like, no, he only knows the honorific of the fool because he heard it. No. He's an attendant of he's the new attendant of mysteries. He is literally the fool's attendant of mysteries. He is literally Klein's attendant of mysteries. He's probably going to be guiding him this entire time for whatever ultimatum. Amon has probably been spectating Klein from the very beginning. Easy, we don't need to gaslight you. You do it yourself. That, you know what? I know I do that myself. Now I want to know what the fuck is Amon in the grander picture of this. You know, like I do gaslight myself. I do that. Oh my God. I just need to stop. I just need to end stream. I got to go outside, touch grass for a little bit. I need to breathe in some fresh air and like think about life and think about how good the series is because I'm so lightheaded. Do not confirm number 9. Thank you. I'm just so damn lightheaded. You know what I find crazy? I kid you not. There's going to be like some freaking little dialogue in volume 1 that has foreshadowed Amon from like the very beginning. Amon has been pulling the streams from the very beginning for whatever reason to like meet the fool, right? Or like, I don't know, man. It's like, I'm burping. It's just, this is such a good series. I haven't even talked to, oh shit, my thing snapped off. I haven't even talked about what happened today. You'll get to know him better soon. I'm ready, dude. It's like, Leonard, dude. Holy shit. Leonard, bro. Leonard figured it out. Leonard figured out Klein's alive, dude. I'm crying. Leonard, now I'm crying thinking about this. There was a guy with a monocle in the Divination Club in Tingen. I know that there is no, wait, there wasn't. No, there wasn't. You're gaslighting me. The only people we know with a monocle? No. The only people we know that, I swear to God, if I go back and watch the Donghua and there's a fucking dude with a monocle in the, oh my God, if there's, I missed one chibi short when they're at the freaking Divination Club. If somebody has a monocle, that'd be crazy. If I remember correctly, you do know if Amon is of the full pathway, we're probably going to have to kill him to get the characteristic to become a god. Yeah, that is true. Don't think. We'll see, man. It's like, oh my God. The fact that like Leonard finally figured out, dude, I'm over here talking about Amon instead of Leonard. Holy shit, man. The fact that like Leonard finally figured out that Klein's alive, that brings the biggest smile to my face. Yeah, Leonard is a true gravedigger. I think that was the greatest gravedigger experience in all of them. I was about to say gold digger. That was like the greatest gravedigger moment in the whole, like he truly acted as a gravedigger. Wait, what chapter was this? I want to check your reaction to it. 854. We started at 846. Dude, it's so much happened, man. Like 2 chapters ago. I don't know, man. 851, the Devil in Details consultation. What was it? I don't know what it was. Somewhere between 850 to now was when he figured it out. He digged the. Oh my God, this was such a good stream. This was such a good part. Oh my God, volume 4 is the best volume. Who the F is a moderator here? I don't know what's going on. No, it's okay. If there's any spoilers, it's okay. I'm not reading anything. All I know is this is so far the best volume. It's okay. If I read a spoiler in chat, I don't even know if I read a spoiler from 851. If there was a spoiler in chat and I read it out loud, don't worry. I'm so overwhelmed right now. I don't even know what I'm reading in chat right now. Just look somewhere in the middle of the VOD. Oh, I'm not reading anything. I can't even chat. I can't even like read. I can't even. I'm too overstimulated. I think Easy read every spoiler. If I think Easy read every spoiler, he is gonna cry at the end. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading chat. Okay, if I read every spoiler, I don't even know what I read. I'm just so overstimulated right now. I can't even process chat. So it's okay, and I don't mean that as I don't mean to belittle by reading. Like, what am I even saying? I don't mean to sound mean that I'm not comprehending chat right now. It just, these chapters were so goated. I'm repeating words. I don't even know what I'm reading right now. It's just so good. I forgot how good something is. Wow, you unsent that so quickly. I was about to read that shit out loud. I forgot how good this volume. I didn't even realize. I'm gonna shut up. I need to go out and touch grass. Ah, man. Looking sinky right now. Not gonna lie. I don't even know what's sinky. Stinky? Sinky? Read messages with a delay to allow DSV and username to read it first. We probably should put like a 5-second, 10-second delay. All right. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna fully digest what I read. What an amazing volume. What an amazing volume. I'm not sleepy. I'm looking a bit skinny. Hey, thanks, bro. A little bit. I'm trying to get back in shape. Ah, man. What a good volume. This is my favorite volume. I'm gonna shut up. I don't even. Just got Elutin Volume 1 Part 1 in the mail. You son of a bitch, Mr. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call you a bitch. What? You got in the mail? Why are people getting it early? Mine doesn't come in until what date? What's today? Mine comes in like 4 days. Wow. All right. Send pictures in the Discord, bro. Oh, it looks so sick. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. Have a beautiful day. And I will see you guys all next time. I need to go drink some tea, man. I'm so lightheaded. All right. Peace. Have a beautiful day. This was probably the best moment in all of Volume 4 so far. Hold up. No. A Foggy Town and all the revelations with like Sequence 0, Sequence 1, Sequence 3, like Zaratul and like the going inside the church and like, oh my God. Like all of that was amazing. All that was like factually 100% amazing. But like this whole conversation and realization with like freaking Leonard and Klein and who they are and like their objectives, and then finally realizing that like, oh my God, he's alive. That was like so much more emotionally impactful, and I love it. Best volume so far, fucking 1000%. This is the best volume so far. I am so lightheaded right now. I'm gonna head out. I don't think my overall thoughts have been this long before. I could have read another chapter. We've been recording for 11 minutes, my overall thoughts. This chapter is literally the best volume. This volume is literally the best volume so far. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna head out. I need to like decompress. I need to digest what I read, and we will be back later today in a few hours. I'm gonna set a time for the usual time, but I might stream like an hour earlier if I can. And guess what? Volume 5 is also the best. Shut up, bro. There's no way. Whoa. I gotta be careful when I stand up right now. Holy shit. There's more to come. I'm excited. I'll see you guys all soon. Peace. And have a beautiful day. Later, guys. Bye.